Kick off your weekend with a little flair. It's Dino's Night Out, every Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Dino brings you the best of the Fox Valley's entertainment scene. Live music, local artists, street festivals, great eats, and the personalities behind them. If it's happening, Dino's talking about it. And bringing the spotlight is none other than the legendary Arcada Theater, located at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. Catch dinner, drinks, and a show, all under one historic roof. So whether you're making plans or just love to know what's hot, make it a date with Dino's Night Out, Fridays, 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM, or stream it live at WRMN1410.com. Dino's Night Out, powered by the Arcada Theater, where Fox Valley comes to play.
Good morning, everybody. This is David Tees on Fantasy Football Blitz here at WRMN 1410 AM. Oh, Lord, it's Saturday, and I'm here with my co-host, John Payne, here at Studios 14. We are here right now with we're moving to a new time spot. We're here at 9 o'clock on Saturdays now. So On the Rise is usually on right now. So we're going to take over for their show, and they're going to come on at 10 to 12 today. So this is going to be a little bit of a change here, so we'll get used to it. And then we'll rerun our show on Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. So you could double check it if you missed it. Okay, what's up today, John? And I'm going to do something here real quick. Go ahead.
Let's start it out. Week 5. Man, a lot of injuries already. We're all just trying to survive right now. And my gosh, there's still 13 weeks to go after this. So it's going to be a long season for a lot of us, I think. Buys this week. Bears, Falcons, Packers, and Steelers. Get them out of your lineup. Here we go. I really don't know. I don't know if I have any players left to start. It's been terrible. Vikings at Browns this week. Early game tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Browns are going to go with Dylan Gabriel. Hope to jumpstart their scoring. I think they're averaging about 14 points a game. They've scored 17 or fewer points in 9 straight games dating back to last season. And the Vikings are bottom 10 in NFL in terms of most rushing yards allowed to opposing running backs. Vikings offensive line is really banged up. So Cleveland should tee off on Carson Wentz. It's going to be a long, long day. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Cleveland's defense has allowed 2.9 yards per carry, the second fewest to running backs. And Quinshon Judkins looks like he's a ball player. He's got 44 touches the last 2 weeks. So I look for Judkins to run the ball a lot, Jordan Mason to try and run the ball. I don't think they're going to get past Cleveland's D, or at least the front seven, very often. So, I mean, honestly, this could be a 10-7 game. I mean, I think Carson Wentz is in trouble. He's actually playing better than McCarthy was the first week.
He's having 2 good weeks, actually. His numbers are up there.
I'm not a Carson Wentz fan, but he seems to be doing okay. But I think Cleveland's D is going to maul him.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett's going to play, and he's just a beast.
With Addison's back, he wasn't really doing much. You know, he's got both of his receivers, Jefferson and Addison. And
it's going to be tough to throw me back.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on his back quite a bit. So, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. And again, that's on early tomorrow morning from London.
Yeah, and
Vikings been over there 2 weeks in a row.
Right,
So.
exactly. I was just going to say that. They've been there, they're rested, and they don't have that long plane ride over the ocean.
They'll be talking with a European accent when they come back, probably. Cowboys at Jets.
That's going to be an interesting game because last week's game with the Packers and the Cowboys, we all didn't see that one coming. I'll tell you that right now. That one was a crazy game.
Defensive battle.
Yeah, Pickens was just on fire, man. He lit it up.
Pickens a good receiver.
Yeah, he is. But they don't have CeeDee Lamb. He is actually out for that game.
And Brandon Allen was put on IR for the Jets, which is their backup to Breece Hall, who was starting to take some carries away. I heard he's out 10 to 12 weeks. So he's going to be out a while. They're going to turn to Isaiah Davis. The Jets are third in the NFL in rushing yards per game. And last year, no running back on the Jets had higher fantasy points per touch than Isaiah Davis.
Yeah.
So you take that with a grain of salt. Dallas has allowed the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. They've also given up the most rushing attempts and fifth highest rushing yards per game to opposing quarterbacks.
You know,
that means Justin Fields is going to run crazy.
Yeah. Okay. He did have a 3-yarder last week, which was unusual. But let's go for something here, guys. And fantasy owners should notice there's no Turpin. Turpin is out for this game here, too. Miles Sanders is questionable. And I think I read that there is a running back coming back. What's his name? Blue? Yeah, Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue. So if there's fantasy owners out there, which I see, you need a running back and you need a waiver move, he might be a guy to look at.
I mean, if you're looking for a deep flex, Javonte Williams is still going to get the carry.
Oh, yeah, he is.
The Jets have allowed 25 points in every game this year.
Right.
So
they have no more Allen.
I don't think this is going to be a defensive battle by any stretch. Fields and Hall are still going to lead the runners here. Like Davis, he's talented, given all the injuries. You know, he could be a desperation flex, too. Mason Taylor's target share has increased every week, so they're trying to hit the new tight end they got there. It was 26% last week and 70% route participation. This week he plays Dallas, and, honestly, Dallas is not good.
Yeah.
They're not good.
That defense.
Dak Prescott will probably get his. Jets defense hasn't been playing that great this year.
No.
I mean, honestly, when you're getting up 25 points a game, you'd expect a little more from Aaron Glenn over there and his defense.
And they're a little banged up. Allen is out. So if you're a fantasy owner, you got Allen, don't start him as a running back. Also, too, hey, if anybody wants to call in, chime in on YouTube or hit us on the text line, ask us some questions. The studio line number is 847-931-1410. The text is 505-926-1410. Or you can listen to us on YouTube.com at WRMN Radio. We will help you guys out with your questions. Anything you have for trades, waiver moves, injury reports, who to start. That's what we're here for today.
Okay. Giants and Saints. No Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, I know. Tyrone Tracy is questionable for this game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's really a rep anyway. He's on your team, isn't he?
No.
I thought you had Tyrone Tracy. Did you trade him?
I traded him last year to Sammy, and I think Sammy cut him. I don't know. I don't pay attention to this team because he's way down there.
This year, through 4 games, the Saints have allowed the 5th most fantasy points to quarterbacks, and that includes games being Mac Jones and Sam Darnold. Mac Jones playing good ball, but we'll get to that later. Cam Scatterbo. Guy's a bull.
I like his name, Scatterbo.
I mean, he's crazy. They were trying to imitate him. I was watching a little bit with him, and they had other Giants trying to imitate him. What he's like around the locker room. And everything.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was hilarious.
See a character?
He's crazy. I mean, he's a football player, man.
Yeah,
he's not great at anything, but, man, he's just a football player. Like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is not big. He doesn't have the strongest arm. That guy's just a football player.
Yeah.
I sound like John Gruden. Give me a hoo-yah.
Yeah, and one of the questions I have for you with that Saints game, when are they going to make a quarterback change? I mean, seriously, it's not working over there, the Saints.
Rattler's not doing that bad. He hasn't won a game yet, but who are they going to turn to?
Well,
that Shaw, that kid they drafted?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ready yet.
He's got an arm. I like him.
So Jamarcus Russell had an arm too.
Yeah, I know, but I just think that's their guy right there. It's in the back of my head.
And maybe he is the guy, but maybe he's not ready yet. I mean, it's a faster game. It takes time.
Well, hey, Tyson Hill is questionable. He might be playing today. That might be their new quarterback. Who knows?
A good move this week with Neighbors out. Darius Slayton be a good pickup, I think.
Yeah.
I think Darius Slayton, especially against New Orleans. I think him and Wendell Robinson are going to go off on New Orleans. Their pass D is terrible, and I think Scadaboo runs the ball well. Giants D, I've been saying for the first 4 weeks that they're tough. They proved that last week a little bit, but for the most part, they haven't looked the part. But yeah, I'd fire up Wendell Robinson and Darius Slayton this week. As far as New Orleans goes, Kendra Miller seems to be getting the ball a lot, and I've heard a lot of trade rumors with Alvin Kamara.
Really?
Yes, but with his salary, it's going to be tough to trade him with the contract. But I know that they want to get a little bit younger. I think they've decided that it's time to regroup. So Kamara could be gone in the next couple of weeks. Don't know who's going to bite, but then again, he goes to a great team.
Saints already going through a flash sale already.
I tell you what, the Chiefs could use them because, man, their running game is just crap right now.
Yeah, I know.
Raiders at Colts. I want to talk about the Colts a second.
Why did I see this one comment from you? Is Jonathan Taylor is the greatest player ever, and he's on my team.
Adonai Mitchell, that second-year player.
Yes,
I
read about him.
What a hot piece of turd. Last week, he cost him 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line.
Whoops.
Come on, man. I mean, how long have you been playing this game? Quit being a showboat. And then Taylor had a 56-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
That was called back for holding on him.
Oh, too bad for you, wasn't it?
Oh, that sucks.
I laugh so hard. I laugh when your guys get gunned down at the one.
Alec Pierce is out this week. I think he's in concussion protocol. So
yeah.
That's kind of their deep guy. Michael Pittman should have a decent game against the Raiders. Kenny Moore is also injured, the slot corner for the Colts. So Jacoby Myers might have a good game. I look for him to get some targets.
Yeah, he's out there. And then when you got Trey Tucker, I
just picked him up.
I saw that.
I've had so many injuries.
I saw that. Yeah,
and he didn't do crap last week, but he's all right. Colts are ranked 8 in rushing yards allowed per game, so they're tough. They got a tough D, and they're at home. So they rank 4th in scoring at 30.8 points a game. Man,
yeah, and they're on a roll. I mean, Daniel Jones. We all didn't see this one coming neither. I mean, Lord, they're on a good roll, but we'll wait. Still young in the season to see which Daniel Jones comes back.
Colts defensive backs aren't that great either, so I look for the Raiders to do okay there. Tyler Warren leads all tight ends receiving this year with 263 yards, which is the most for that position through the first 4 games of his season since the Super Bowl era. So
yeah, but Daniel Jones is over 1,000 yards passing right now. I mean,
well, it's 4 games, but still,
yeah, it's 4 games.
250 a game, 250, 300 a game. You can't whine about that.
No,
I don't know.
Not if you're a PPR league.
I mean, honestly, maybe it was just getting out of New York because I'm starting to be a believer. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah.
Well, let me see. Barkley or Shaquan got out of New York, and look what he looks like. And Jones gets out of New York.
I mean, with a great line.
Yeah, oh, that's true. But
put Shaquan on the Jets.
Yeah, see how it is. See how that works out for fantasy owners.
Okay, Dolphins at Panthers. No Tyreek Hill.
Who's in our league? Who's on it? Who's on their team? I mean, Tyreek Hill. Who's got him in our league?
I have him in both my leagues.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do. Too bad. Too sad. Too bad. Too sad for you.
Man, that was one ugly injury.
Yeah, it was.
That leg looked like a pretzel.
It happens.
Yeah, that was gruesome. Each of the last 2 weeks, Malik Washington has been targeted on 20% of his routes.
Yeah.
They love him down there. He's not a big guy, but either was Tyreek. Obviously, Tua's not a big guy, so they'll be eye to eye. I don't know what Tua's problem is this year. I mean, the guy's always been so efficient over the years and never been a great deep ball passer, but even his intermediate and short routes, He looked a little better last week, but I don't know if it's the line. I don't know if he's like a deer in headlights almost like a rookie season. I don't understand it. On the year, Washington's 8.1 yards a catch per reception, third best among all receivers. So I like Washington this year.
He's having a good year. Yeah.
The third straight game, he had multiple rush attempts, Malik Washington. So in our league, that's double points. It opens up. Tyreek Hill had 24% of the target share, so that's going to open things up. Darren Waller looked like a man possessed last week. He's a big dude.
Comes out of retirement, and yeah, he's a big boy. He comes out of retirement.
So
how long was he retired for? Like 6 months?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. When facing zone coverage this year, Tua has a QBR of 19, which is 33rd in the league. Averages 6.3 yards an attempt, which is 25th. And the Panthers use zone coverage 68% of the time. So it could be a good game for Carolina. Maybe they're D.
Yeah.
I mean, Devin A-Chain is really the only guy you got to worry about right now.
Hey, you guys, watch out for Ollie Gordon. That young kid is, he's a goal line guy.
That's because you have him?
No, I'm helping out fantasy owners here. This is what we do. Just because I got him on my team doesn't mean I'm gloating, you know.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to ask you, who's in first place right now?
You are, because you had, 2 guys going on Thursday night, and I had nobody, and I was in first place, so you get some points. But the week ain't over with yet, John. So don't be gloating. Yeah, okay.
Hey, we got our first question.
Okay, go ahead.
Dave, why are you such a douche?
All right, John.
That's from John in Elgin.
Yeah. I hate that guy. I thought it would be from the guy that sits in the card shop in South Elgin.
I'm sure he'd like to know, too.
Yeah, I know.
Broncos and Eagles. Philly's passing game is terrible right now. They've had one decent game. I think that Hurts threw 3 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago. But I think A.J. Brown's been under 27 yards 3 of the 4 games this year. They got to get him going.
Yeah, you figure with having a good run game, a good offensive line, you would figure that they would be throwing the ball a lot more. Because those receivers are not getting open because
Dallas Goedert's getting open by the end zone.
Isn't he questionable this week?
I think he is questionable this week. But
Sammy picks him up and he's questionable.
Well, Sammy picks up anybody that scores.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, they rank 31st in the NFL in passing, and they're going up against the Broncos and Surtain. So Surtain's probably going to be on Brown, I imagine. So it's going to be rough sledding for them again. Broncos rank 5th in QBR and sacks with 15, as well as second in pressures at 62. So they're going to be all over Hurts. He's going to have to run just to escape. Philly's line is good, but Broncos are tough, man. But they do have to go to the Eagles, so it's always better to play at home.
Yeah.
Denver's allowed at least 10 fantasy points to tight ends in 2 of its past 3 games. So if Goddard does play, maybe he's the one that goes up the seam and takes care of business.
I have to start Jalen Hurts today because
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I hope you start him today.
Well, technically, I could start him today. He'll be still on ready to go for tomorrow. No, because Lamar Jackson's out, so I'm going to go with Hurts, and I hope the have to do works out for me.
I don't know why you don't trade him to me. Get something for that rotten team of yours.
Oh, who should I trade him to? I don't know. Do you know anybody? No, that's what I thought.
He's hot garbage.
The guy that keeps calling me up. You should trade me Jalen Hurts.
I don't call you that often. It's been a while.
Oh,
I've been trying for a year and a half.
Yeah. You've been trying for a year and a half, and the answer has always been, everybody, this answer.
No.
That's funny.
I could really take that to another direction, but we won't go south right now. Texans at Ravens. Lamar Jackson, your boy.
Cooper Rush, starting quarterback. Fantasy owners, you're looking for a quarterback. Like I know one guy in a fantasy league who only has 2 players in his PPR league. The rest of them are all out. So Cooper Rush is a pickup if you need a quarterback. Not a good pickup, but a pickup.
There's another team. What's going on with their defense?
Yeah.
Have they been up like 35 points a game, something like that? That's ridiculous. This is Baltimore.
That was a bad game for Baltimore's defense against the Chiefs. They were just not there.
No team, I believe, is worse against the rush than Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Woody Marks is coming to town, who's kind of taken over for Nick Chubb's. Both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Woody Marks is another good.
He's good back. He's kind of small, but man,
there's another one a fantasy owner should be looking at for waivers.
We've talked about that the last.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Joe Mixon's still out. More I read about Joe Mixon, I don't even know if he's going to play this year. He had foot surgery. I think it was foot and ankle surgery, and I think the surgery went well, but the rehab has not went well. That's been the problem. He just like hit a wall and just can't get better. But I've read it multiple times over the last few weeks that they don't even know if he's coming back this year. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they have like a 3-week window once they activate him off IR.
Yeah, 3-week window.
But I don't think they've even done that yet. So
Yeah, and the Texans are 1-3, and the Ravens are 1-3. So,
I mean, the Ravens are giving up 140 yards a game rushing.
yeah,
I mean, that's not the Ravens.
no,
No, it is this year.
yeah, there you go. Good observation, John. I like that.
Yeah, I like where my head's at.
You're so smart.
Yeah, legend in my own mind.
Oh yeah,
Titans at Cardinals. No James Conner. He's done for the year. We told you to pick up Trey Benson. Well, Monday of this week, he was fine. By Monday afternoon, they put him on IL or IR, and by Monday night, I found out he had surgery.
yeah.
So it was meniscus surgery. They say 4 to 6 weeks. I've had 7 of those, and I was playing softball a couple days later. So, I mean, I'm not a pro football player, so maybe that's
Sound like
why.
you spent a lot of time on the ground if you had that many surgeries.
That's because I was so fast, man.
Oh, that's funny. Michael Carter is another waiver move to pick up because they're going to be doing running back by committee.
Well, Demercado is positioned to lead the Cardinals running back by committee. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the flex radar. Michael Carter came out and said Thursday that he was the starter.
I heard that.
So I don't know if they're giving away secrets or he's giving away secrets that he's going to be the starter. I don't know, but I don't know if I'd be coming out and saying that after I just signed. But he is going to get touches.
Maybe.
Cam Ward's been sacked an NFL high 17 times this season. And the Cardinals rank 5th in pass rush win rate. So
Their defense has stepped up a little bit with the Cardinals.
and it's at Arizona. So
Yeah.
like I said, home cooking's always better. It's always better to wake up in your own bed. So
Yeah,
I think
it always is.
as bad as I don't. It's not bad. I'm not a huge fan of Kyler Murray.
No, I'm not either.
He can run and he can pass a little bit, but he's so small. I still think he's going to tear Tennessee apart.
You think so?
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. maybe has a good game. I said, the running back situation is something else. I think they'll be throwing Trey McBride. I know I harp on him every week. He's such a good tight end. I mean, I don't see a running game, so I see Harrison. I see Trey McBride having good weeks.
Harrison had a touchdown last week.
Right, and Murray should. Every time I say Murray,
You think about Bill Murray, don't you?
no, I think about Murray from the movie The Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Murray. Hey, Murray. That's such a good movie.
You know,
that's dark, but that's such a good movie.
The Titans are 0-4. I just think the Titans are going to sneak this one out against the Cardinals at home. God, Tyler Lockett is nowhere to be found on that team.
No, he's not. And neither is Calvin Ridley.
No.
I mean, they said at the beginning of the year or in preseason that,
Right.
he's got such a rapport with Cam Ward already.
Ridley is actually questionable for this game, too.
Yeah, so maybe that Honorado, their tight end, gets something.
We are going to get to the break here. That's our music. So, get up, get a cup of coffee, a donut, make some eggs really quickly, and
bring him on down to WRMN.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here at WRMN Radio, 1410 AM.
Now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
The Live Like Rue Foundation is a 501c3 charitable organization that assists owners and their pets through a cancer diagnosis by providing financial and emotional support. In memory of a dog named Rue, the foundation helps local shelters and rescuers by sponsoring animals with cancer who do not yet have a forever home. Live Like Rue is a beacon of light during a dark time. For support for your pet or to donate or volunteer, please go to livelikeRue.org. Again, livelikeRue.org.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast, right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has two convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
Welcome back to WRMN's Fantasy Football Blitz Saturday edition. It's week 5. Anybody wants to call in? Call into the studio at 847-931-1410 with any questions. Text us at 505-926-1410. Or you can chat with us on youtube.com at WRMN Radio.
Good job.
Good job, B.
You're getting it down. Gotta love this guy.
I myself.
There you go.
Good job.
Didn't screw up yet. Well, I probably screwed up a couple times, but
We're getting better at this.
nobody's listening, so who cares?
This is our fifth week of doing this, and it's starting to come together really good. And I hope people are listening and watching and getting some good advice. But you can watch it again tomorrow morning at 7:06.
7 to 8 a.m., right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So if you ain't got nothing to do, you wake up early, hey, turn us on and, really get it fresh into your head what to do.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's get to the next game. Bucks at Seahawks. This one pains me to say, but no Bucky Irving.
You had to really say that to me, didn't you?
And I don't know why Kevin's playing again.
That hurt me. I hope it's only for 1 week.
Chris Godwin came back last week, looked good.
Yeah.
He had like 25% of the target share, 91% route participation. Seattle's allowed the 8th most yards of the slot this year, so Godwin should have a decent game.
Yeah, and
That's Seattle, though, and we know what it's like to play in Seattle.
Yes.
There's the 12th man right there.
Right there, yeah.
Yep. Seattle's going to need to lean on their passing game because Tampa Bay's rush defense is stout.
Yeah, they're good.
So they're going to have to pass the ball. The Bucs have scored and allowed identical 97 points so far this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is useless information, but it's still information nonetheless.
Yeah, and then White will be getting most of the carries over there for Tampa Bay, and on the running side, on the other side.
But Sean Tucker should get some carries too.
Yeah.
I like Sean Tucker.
I like him too.
He just doesn't get the ball enough, but man, he was a stud. I think he went to Syracuse, and he looked good a couple of times that he's got to play in the last couple of years. So I don't know why they don't use him more, but Bucky Irvin, that's kind of a loss. But Rashard White's looked good, and he's good in the passing game.
You got two defensive teams. They have a good secondary. You got Walker.
I think Weatherspoon is out for Seattle, so that's big. But it'll be a good game. I'm going to go Bucks. That's just me.
In Seattle, huh? Seattle's 3-1. Bucks are 3-1. So this is a good matchup. I think this is going to be a running game. I think you're going to see Walker and Charbonnet getting a lot of carries. Charbonnet, whatever you want to call them. Why are you being an English teacher again today?
Well, I don't want people punching in the wrong name if they're looking to pick somebody up.
That's what I do.
I don't think Charbonnet is out there in the waivers anyway.
It could be. You never know. You're not in other people's leagues. You're in our league. So I think it's going to be a big running game. It's going to be a lot of carries because both teams have good secondaries.
But they got a tough rush defense. I mean, Kenneth Walker's good when he's healthy. He has a lot of lower body injuries.
But he's not a goal line guy anymore.
Charbonnet's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But they're both stud backs. But Tampa Bay's tough, man.
I'm starting Charbonnet.
Good.
Yeah, he'll be rushing in 2 touchdowns for me today.
Would you like to put a little wager on that?
Or tomorrow, sorry.
Would you like to put a wager on that?
No, I don't do that.
You want to wear a dress again like you did the year you finished last in our fantasy league? And you owned it.
Yeah, I did.
I know you liked it. I think you probably wore it around for a couple days.
I actually did keep that dress for a little while. I had a matching purse with that too. That was a really nice dress. I actually wore one I didn't wear a dress Thursday, but I dressed up like Susie C on Thursday's show at 7:30. So if you want to go back and watch that, I was Susie 2.0.
Okay. Commanders at Chargers. Washington defense continues to be plagued by explosive plays. They've allowed 28 plays over 15 yards. Herbert ranks 11th with 20 pass plays of at least 15 yards. And of those plays, he's completed 7 with 3 touchdowns to Quentin Johnson. Be a fun matchup in the red zone. The Commanders have scored touchdowns on 7 of 9 such drives, and the Chargers have allowed touchdowns on 4 of 13 drives. So Chargers defense is tough. Jaden Daniels is back. That's going to make a big difference.
You also have who else is back? I mean, I think they don't have McLaren.
Brian Robinson isn't back.
No. he's on another team. But McLaren is out. They also had I can't remember who was coming back. Here, I could look it up while you're just jabbing away over.
Washington's got a great. They've got a great line, so that could be a problem for Justin Herbert. But if he gets time to throw, and Justin Herbert's taken a little bit more time to throw, I read like 2.9 seconds on his drop back to throw, and he's going to have to be quicker than that with Washington's rush D. But if he does get rid of the ball quickly, which he's going to have to, explosive plays could happen real quick. Ladd McConkey's kind of been quiet this year.
Yeah, he's going to bust out today, I think.
Tomorrow?
Okay, tomorrow. Thank you, John.
If he busts out today,
then
I don't know that I'd start him tomorrow. But, Ladd McConkey's been having some issues. Keenan Allen, honestly, is like I said at the beginning of the year, he was a great pickup. Great for that offense. Quiet
last week.
Yeah, he was. He knows how to he knows how to read the zone and just find that opening and just sit. I thought he was the best receiver on the Bears last year, personally, but that's just me. So I don't know that the Chargers are going to smoke Washington, but I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be one of the best games of the week to watch. Obviously, Washington's going cross country, and we've talked about that all the time. It's always tougher, but I think it'll be a good game. I still take the Chargers, but I take the Chargers close. And if I'm starting anybody this week, it's probably Quentin Johnson.
I think Debo's going to have a good game. He's been stepping up the last few games.
He seemed to be healthy. He seems to be healthy this year and enjoying football.
Well,
again.
he was removed off of the injury list. I didn't know he was back on it, but I just read up here now that he is basically off that injury list.
But with Jaden Daniels coming back, like I said,
that's huge. Yeah. That is actually huge for fantasy owners and for the team.
Yeah, it is, and for my buddy Sandals, who's a big Washington fan.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Sandals, congratulations on your fantasy baseball championship this year.
You got one too, right?
I got one too. That's right. Should have had two. But I got.
Are you guys in the same league, or are you guys?
No, that was a league that I left at the end of last year, and I think Wheels is in that league too. Who should be calling?
How did Wheels do under that one?
In that league?
Yeah,
he was a last place team the year before that, and I kind of helped them draft a little bit, and he made the playoffs this year. Was much better. And he'll be better even next year. Patriots and Bills. Fun game.
Patriots and Bills. Hey, Patriots threw up some numbers last week.
Drake May's going to have a good game, I think.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I do. No team has allowed more rushing yards per carry to opposing quarterbacks than the Buffalo Bills.
You know, the Patriots defense is really stepping up this year. A little bit of a change there. Uh-oh.
What's that? You don't turn your phone off when you're
here? Sorry. Hit the wrong button on my phone.
I remember my first show, too.
Wow, you're just full of them today. Back to this game here. Yeah, the defense for the Patriots have stepped up. The offense is starting to come around. They're still a young offense, though.
Yeah, they are. New England is tied for second in opponent rushing yards per game at 77 and yards per rush at 3.3. So James Cook, who's had 100 yards 3 straight games, may have a little tougher sledding. It's at Buffalo. So the edge, obviously Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo is just offensively, they're crazy good.
There's only 2 undefeated teams right now, Philadelphia and Buffalo.
Josh Allen has 45 career games of both a passing and a rushing touchdown. He's tied with Cam Newton for the most in NFL history. I think he breaks that record.
Cam Newton, Superman.
I hated Cam.
Hey, we have a caller. I'm going to bring him on. Right
Probably
now.
Wheels.
Okay. Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you guys?
Good. Is it Wheels? It's Wheels. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
All right. Enough of Wheels. Bills offense ranks second in total yards a game, and Dalton Kincaid, who's had a good year. He faces a defense that's gave up the 9th most fantasy points per game to tight ends. So look for Kincaid to get in there. Tell you what, who's really burning my butt. I guess that's the easiest way to say that. Keon Coleman.
Yeah, he's having a good season.
No, he's not.
I think he's in the yardage for PPR leagues, but not on.
Like 112 yards and a touchdown in the first game.
That's
and
right.
He's just done jack squat, and I've started him twice.
Sorry.
And in a touchdown-only league, man, it's killing me, man.
That's right.
It's killing me, man.
His PPR leagues, he's doing good, but in a point league, he's not. That's just too bad, too sad again for John Payne.
Who's in first place? Hey, Wheels, who's in first place in our league?
Man.
You.
There you go.
Yeah, I like how he says it.
Me and Wheels made a good baseball trade yesterday. But that's fantasy football. That's for another time.
Hey, before you make any football trades with him, you should consult with Dave Tease first.
Oh, God. And then do the opposite.
I probably will.
Hey,
Like
sorry.
your head's at, Wheels.
Sorry about that last few minute touchdowns on you last week, but when you start throwing stones at my glass house, it's going to come back and haunt you, buddy.
Wheels had 3 letters. He texted me after you guys scored.
You can't say it on the radio.
POS.
Yeah.
Wheels wasn't happy.
No.
But
No, I was throwing stuff.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right, Wheels. You can. Chiefs at Jags. Monday night.
That's a good game.
Jags are 3-1.
We missed the game. You missed the Sunday night game.
Chiefs at Jags. Let's get to that one.
Oh, that's okay. You want to go ahead of this? Okay, go ahead.
Who's the Sunday night game?
Isn't it? Oh no, wait. Buffalo's the Sunday night. Did we talk about the Lions and the Bengals, or did you miss that one?
We haven't been there yet.
Okay, well that's just a Sunday afternoon game.
That's all right.
All right.
I like to mix it up. That's how I roll.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. Jags lead the NFL in drops this season with double-digit drop total. Thank you, Brian Thomas.
Jaguars are 3-1. Chiefs are 2-2.
Good call.
Didn't see that one
There's
coming.
a game behind him.
Yeah, but no. I mean, Jesus.
Did you just almost cuss?
Yeah, I almost did. I almost did, but I caught myself.
I don't know about that. The Chiefs' defensive ranks 31st in run-stop win rate. Travis Etienne, fire him up.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so. It's at Jacksonvile. Again, always tough to go on the road. Etienne's been playing really good ball.
Yeah, he's been really
He's
good.
like reincarnated. I don't think he looked that great last year or before, but yeah, he's playing good ball. So, yeah, I like that. I still think the Chiefs pull it out.
Yeah, of course.
Not a huge Trevor Lawrence fan, but
Hey,
you can't blame Trevor Lawrence totally with all the drops. Like I said, Brian Thomas is killing me too. I thought he'd be my guy this year, and unfortunately, he's not that guy.
fantasy owners have to be going crazy over the running game over there in Kansas City. I mean, especially in PPR leagues or in scoring leagues, there's no running game in Kansas City anymore. It's just gone.
Well, they're not trying to establish the run. It doesn't look like either. I mean, Pacheco, is he getting the ball 10 or 15 times a game? Kareem Hunt's getting it 5 or 10 times a game. And they're just searching for something. Brashard Smith, their young running back, he's quick, but he's small. I don't know if they got that guy. You know, that would be a spot for Alvin Kamara.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. And they get Rashee Rice back in, I don't know if it's next week or the week after.
Once again, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is leading the team on rushing at 130 yards.
Yeah, that's...
you got two running backs that can't even put that together.
Yeah, the running game is atrocious right now. And honestly, Mahomes is playing good ball.
Yeah.
Because when you've got Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown as your top two guys.
Juju had a touchdown last week, and you said, hey, Juju is not existent. He ain't there. But, you know.
How many catches does he have? Just one or two?
He had a touchdown. In our league, that's good.
I mean, I didn't know how Xavier Worthy would do either with that shoulder injury, but, man, he was flying all over the field. As long as they keep him, outside the hashes, he'll probably be okay. Yeah. And that doesn't come down hard on that shoulder, but Worthy's a stud. Like I said, they get Rashee Rice back. I don't know that they've ever had Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy on the field at the same time. That's going to be tough for opposing defenses. That's a lot of speed, man.
Yeah.
And Rice is a stud.
One guy does not make the team. Just because he's on your team and I traded him to you doesn't make him the team. There's no I in team.
Okay. But, like I said, once those guys get on the field together, that also may open up the running game.
All right. So we're starting to run out of time. Let's get to the last game here that we didn't cover yet.
Lions at the Bengals. No Joe Burrow.
Again. No quarter.
Bengals average a league high 10 tight end points per game. Fire up Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's D is just terrible.
Yeah, they're going to get picked apart today by that receiving core.
Cincinnati hasn't played Baltimore yet, have they? Interdivision game.
No.
Boy, that game could be 40-40 like the Packer-Dallas game.
I don't know. Cincinnati has 6 total points in the last 2 games. That's good for fantasy owners, isn't it?
Okay. Jake Browning has not looked good.
No.
But I'm telling you, from this point forward, they have one of the easiest schedules in football. Jake Browning will not be a terrible quarterback by the end of the year.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think he'll be a terrible quarterback.
If I was Cincinnati, I'd be on the phone calling up Atlanta and talking to Kirk Cousins. That's what I would be doing right now.
Bengals defense has given up the second most fantasy points to running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs. And Chase is seeking to avoid going 3 straight games with 50 or fewer receiving yards.
Yep.
They got to get him going. But, yeah, I think the Lions go in there and smoke them. They put up at least 30 points.
How long do you think it before they have a flash sale, too, over there with maybe trading some players to get some youth for the future? Because they just don't look like they're going anywhere, even though considering they're 2-2. What?
Chase Brown is another one that hasn't stepped up like he should have. But like I said, their schedule, it gets so much easier after this week.
Put Tajay Brooks in there, see what he's got, man. He's a rookie. Why not? They ain't doing nothing over there.
Yeah, but, there's no threat at the quarterback right now. But I think that's going to change.
Running back, Tajay Brooks is a running back.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm just saying.
Okay. Just making sure you're on the right track.
I'm not the one that almost cussed. and I'm the one that cusses the most.
Yeah.
Let's get to some waiver targets this year.
Okay, really quickly.
We talk really quickly.
Well, we got 9 minutes, but then the commercials come on here. Yeah. So we're like, okay, go. Just don't look at me like that.
I don't like your attitude today, buddy. Woody Marks, we talked about him last few weeks.
Yeah.
I doubt that he's out there, but if he is, grab him. DiMarsado, Michael Carter, Arizona.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I got to think that a lot of teams are hurting at running back right now. I know they're ugly names to pick up, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them has an epiphany.
Well, Carter was someone I talked about as a waiver move, and he's also a sleeper, I think.
And he's the starter, according to him.
Yeah, according to him.
Darius Slayton, we talked about him. I think he's a good pickup. He's a good pickup with Dart. Dart's got a cannon. Slayton can go.
He had a good game.
I think he's going to have a great game against New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Anybody's going to have a good game against New Orleans.
And I think, just as well, Rashid Shaheed. I think he'll have a good game. He hasn't done a lot either. But, with a young quarterback like Rattler, they don't like to throw the ball down the field, but he seems to be eyeballing Chris Olave on a lot of targets. Like he's just staring him down, waiting until he gets open to throw.
Another good waiver move this week, or if he's going to play this week or next week, would be Tyson Hill. If you need a tight end, he could be.
Who is it?
Tyson Hill.
Tyson?
You
mean Taysom?
Okay. Next, you got any more waiver moves?
Speaking of Hills, Justice Hill.
Justice Hill is another good waiver to pick up on that.
Especially this week with Cooper Rush. I imagine they're going to try to run the ball as much as they can. Obviously, LaKeon Henry.
Yeah, but that 43-yard touchdown run he had there, that was just, at the end of the game. So I would really get jumping on the bandwagon with Hill really quick.
He's a good handcuff to Henry. Yeah. That's for sure. And he'll get the ball. Darren Waller, we talked about him. Another good one. Kendre Miller. Taking away touches from Alvin Kamara.
And if you're looking for another waiver move, I think Jacoby Myers is going to have a good week, and so is Ollie Gordon.
You and this Ollie Gordon, man.
Ollie. Do the chant, John.
And Malik Washington down there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some questions. Our 2-minute warning.
Yes, 2-minute warning. Let's hear how we did.
Wheels was 5-5. We were both 6-4 last week. Technically, Wheels shouldn't be on, but he's our buddy. So
he's our buddy. Well, Wheels, you're welcome on anytime. Don't listen to him. I'm the host. He's the co-host.
He's the dude. He's the douche.
Lord.
I'll start out with my questions first, okay?
Go ahead.
All right. You ready, Wheels?
I'm ready.
All right. Will Justin Herbert throw for at least 240 yards versus Washington? Wheels?
Yes.
Dave?
No.
I'm going to also say no. There you go, 0-1, Wheels. Will Cincinnati score at least 20 points versus Detroit?
No.
2 no's? I'm going to say yes.
That didn't work out too good for you last time, I don't think.
Yeah. Eat me. Who throws for more yards this week, Daniel Jones or Geno Smith?
I'm going to say Daniel Jones. That is a really, really good question.
And what do you say, Wheels?
Daniel Jones.
I'm going to say Geno Smith. Although I'm probably wrong. Over and under on the Vikings-Browns game. 33 points. That means total score, Dave.
I'm going to say, thanks, John. Thank you for that help there. I'm going to say over.
You're going to go over?
Yep.
What about you, Wheels?
I'm taking the over as well.
I'm going under.
God, we're going to get some points on that one.
Yeah, not very many. Does Travis Etienne rush for at least 85 yards versus KC?
Yes.
No.
I'm going to say yes. I think he gets 86.
Those are your questions?
Those
really
are my
quickly.
five. Let's yours?
Will George Pickens get over 100 yards receiving?
Will they play again?
Dallas plays. I forgot. I got to go back.
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Wheels?
I say yes. John's looking it up because he's being confused here. And he's really getting. Oh, Jets.
Now, what was the question?
Will Pickens
have 100 yards?
Oh, yeah, over 100 yards.
And you say yes?
I say yes.
Wheels?
No.
I'm going to say no also. Number 7.
Will Zay Flowers get a touchdown while having Cooper rush at his quarterback? I'm going to say yes.
Wheels?
No.
I'm also going to say no.
Watch out for that one.
I'm probably going to run it this week.
You know I'm high on this guy here. Will Ollie Gordon get 2 rushing touchdowns this week?
You and Ollie Gordon, man. I don't know what the infatuation is. What do you think, Wheels?
I say yes, by the way.
God, no.
No way. Absolutely
so?
not.
Okay.
God, you're probably 0-10 this week. Number 9.
Oh, sorry. I got an over and under. Over or under Chargers versus Washington?
Over or under what?
What is the spread on that one? I don't know.
Well, you
whatever
asked
the spread
that question.
is.
Over or
I
under?
couldn't find
what,
the
are we
spread.
supposed to guess?
Yeah, guess. Over the spread. Just say whatever the spread is. Over or under. That you don't need to have the total points. Just say over the spread. You know. Then I'll adjust that later.
Here's with the points.
You know, Wheels, you're physically handicapped, but Dave is mentally handicapped. Oh, my God. That's an understatement. Take a guess. What do you think?
Okay, whatever the I don't know. It could be 42. I don't know.
You're supposed to have this ready.
You just say over and under.
Oh, my God.
You want to argue today, man.
Okay, I'm going to
say over.
Okay. Wheels?
It's not a hard question.
What are you over and under a mystery amount?
Whatever the amount is. Okay.
Wheels?
I'll say under.
I'm going to say under. And 10.
Last question. Will Cam Ward have a rushing touchdown today? It would be his first. I'll say yes.
Wheels?
No.
No, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Oh, God, I'm going 10-0 this week.
Well, that's our music.
I can't believe you gave me the over and under with a mystery.
I couldn't find it. Okay,
well, then why did you write it down?
Well, whatever it is written down, it is. Over or under. Wheels figured out. He's already got the answer. You just, oh, my God.
Okay, question 11. Is Dave T's brain dead? I'll take the yes and the over on
Listen
that.
tomorrow morning at 7:06 to get the recap of this crazy game and that we just got done playing. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Good luck. Watch your injury reports before the games start tomorrow. Not today.
And check us out again next Saturday.
What's that, Wheels? Oh, we lost
The
it.
over-under is 47.
Oh, okay.
Fixed rate, indexed, or variable?
Okay.
Are you paying high fees and getting low returns?
All right.
So, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 10 o'clock.
Republican Senator Dan Sullivan. Lateral effects from the government shutdown. The pause affects a long-awaited plan to extend the city's Red Line train. You'll find more on these stories and breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Japan's governing party has elected former Economic Security Minister Sanae Takaichi as its new leader, making her likely to become the country's first ever female prime minister.
In her victory speech, Ms. Takaichi said a new era has come to the ruling party, adding that the LDP had to change to give people hope. But many women voters don't see her as an advocate for progress. Ms. Takaichi is a staunch conservative who's long opposed legislation allowing women to keep their maiden names after marriage, saying it was against tradition. She's also against same-sex marriage. A protege of the late former leader Shinzo Abe, Ms. Takaichi has vowed to bring back his economic vision known as Abenomics, which involves high fiscal spending and cheap borrowing. The LDP veteran is hawkish on security and aims to revise Japan's pacifist constitution.
And that report coming from the BBC's Shamaya Khalil. You'll find more of these stories at townhall.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Welcome into AM 1410 WRMN. You are listening to On the Rise here at the 10 o'clock hour. We've switched some things up here with the River Media Network Sports Saturdays. And it is myself, Mike Napolitano, alongside my co-host and producer this morning, Nick Johnston. Nick, how are you doing?
All good, ready to rock and roll.
Get a little extra sleep this morning?
Yeah, no sleepies in the eyes, no yawning. All good to go. Oh, this is fantastic.
Little different time, but we're going to be still bringing you the same great sports news as always. And of course, during this season, we're always leading off with the Chicago Bears. It has been a pretty back and forth season, and I think that 2-2 record reflects it going into the bye week. And I think most Bears fans are pleased to be at 500 going into an off week before they pick up with the rest of the schedule. It's going to be a tough pickup as they have to face the Commanders in Washington on the 13th. That's a 7:15, so prime time, Sunday night football game on ABC. However, actually, Monday night football, excuse me, that's a Monday.
Yeah.
So even more prime time. But we got to talk about this last week against the Raiders. Bears squeak out the victory 25-24. It's a victory on a field goal. And the Bears get the job done going into a little bit of a vacation to bring themselves to 2-2. Their last two wins were their last two games. The Cowboys, 31-14 victory at home, and then on the road in Las Vegas, eking out that win. What did you see from that Bears? Really, the Bears' offense to put up 25 points and the special teams, but kind of winning ugly, no?
That was the definite, exactly that. Not very often do the Bears win a game like that. I would have to agree with a lot of other commentators. I wouldn't. You're not really going to get this win against any other teams besides the Raiders. This is kind of just one of those things. Exactly that. Overall, like I mentioned, it was brutal. It was brutal because defense just couldn't tackle. Ashton Genty and just the rest of the team just ran all over the place on the Bears. Was not looking good. For what it's worth, I mean, I'm not going to put the interception on Caleb Williams. That was just Max Crosby making a play,
right? And
he admitted that it was one of the toughest players he's ever played against, and rightfully so. He was screaming all game long, and like I said, it was just one of those games where not very often the Bears win a game like this. You're glad to be 2-2 right now, but there's a ton of holes right now on the offense and defensive side that this early bye week is actually really, really useful right now.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, of course, we were talking last week about the injury bug, and that's, to be expected in the midst of a football season. But now you've got Colston Loveland, who is questionable, TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon, Darnell Wright. I know he was out the last game too. And then, of course, going back, we talked about how the Bears will be without Jalen Johnson. He's going to undergo core muscle surgery. That was actually last week.
He's essentially done for the season.
Done for the season. But I think that was last week that he actually underwent the actual surgery. They're listing it as his groin, but it's a core muscle. Okay, I guess, yeah, technically groin's core muscle. I would think lower body, but A lot of injuries for this Bears team. So hopefully with this off week, this bye week, they can get healthy and go into playing a better game overall against some of these teams, especially when you go into playing a former playoff team like Washington. That'll be a really big test, considering Washington was the game last year that it all fell apart for the Bears. And it kind of turned Washington's season around for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Yeah. They've been on a little bit of a struggle. Obviously, they've had a ton of injuries, too. This is the first week they're getting Jaden Daniels back in a little bit. Obviously, they lost Austin Eckler for the year, so it's going to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, not Bilal Nichols, but all these kind of backup role players for the running backs and everything like that. So it would be interesting to see how fully healthy maybe the Commanders are come week 6. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Definitely to see. I've been on the side, and I think so far so good that the Commanders are kind of on the falling off side. They're not the same Commanders that you saw last year, winning all these one-score games, going their way. So I'm confident the Bears can still get this done. Overall, though, this still doesn't really scream to me that this is a playoff caliber team, just because, again, so many injuries to such key names, especially on the defensive side. They just could not tackle. It's as simple as that. It was really just just not being able to tackle last week was a huge issue.
Yeah, the Commanders are 2-2. They are 2-0 at home. This game will be at home, so it'll be a battle for this Bears squad that, as we just talked about, won their last game, kind of winning ugly. You get a win over a weak Dallas team that, some people are still saying Dallas is still Dallas, but listen, the way I look at it, outsider looking in, Dallas is a dumpster fire. You needed to win that game to show that you can win games in this league and in this season. And the Bears do that. Sure, that's fine. You win ugly against a Raiders team that is on the come up. Okay, great. You go into this bye week, you try to get healthy because Washington, despite what you're saying, them maybe kind of falling off a little bit, I still look at them as they were a playoff team last year, and you can never kind of count Jaden Daniels out. But you're not wrong. They're not winning as many of those one-score games. It is early in the season, but, they're going to have a game this week, Washington. So we'll see if they come into that next week at 3-2 or 2-3. They are playing a red-hot Chargers team, and Justin Herbert's has been on fire. The Chargers are 3-1. They're 2-0 at home, and this one will be out in Los Angeles. So expect the Commanders to maybe be 2-3 coming into Week 5 against the Bears, and I would say that they'd be hungry to get back to their winning ways and keep their undefeated streak at home, especially with the pieces that they have there. There was some chatter before the season about the Commanders on, their roster makeup and if anybody was necessarily leaving Washington. We knew it wouldn't be, I guess, Deebo Samuels or Jaden Daniels, but I guess there was some talk about who was it?
Terry McLaurin.
Was it Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin, yeah,
Terry?
he's out this week with his, I believe, the hamstring injury. But yeah, he was talking all offseason about extension, and they finally got that done about a couple weeks before the regular season went ahead and started. So yeah, no, it's big that he's out this week. Hopefully, maybe for the Commanders' sake, hopefully he's back next week. But for the Bears' sake, stay out, scary Terry.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, and ask maybe the people at home can relay people, anybody in the comments, or if anyone wants to call in. What to you is maybe the biggest glaring issue for the Bears as of right now? Now we get some time to reflect with the bye week. Is it for you maybe this left tackle situation, kind of this rotating, kind of exactly that, just kind of a rotating carousel at left tackle? Is it maybe the lack of run offense? Is it maybe the lack of run defense? I've seen people also talk about the lack of tight end usage. What for you is maybe the Bears' biggest issue to try and come to a conclusion after this bye week?
Well, I think you nailed it with the left tackle has been the talk since the preseason and even dating back to last season. But I think when you go into this season knowing that you're missing that, you have to adjust, you have to adapt. So I think that was a problem. That's a case of a problem that you've identified early on enough that you can be versatile and move around that and adjust. So I think the biggest issue and the biggest surprising issue has been the run game. Maybe not super surprising to most, but I thought DeAndre Swift looked okay last year. I thought he looked great, and I just haven't seen enough of an offensive run game from this Bears squad. I think the next biggest, maybe it's a 1A, 1B, biggest issue has been the tight end usage. And I know a lot of people were surprised in that because Ben Johnson is known for having that 2 tight end system. He can work that well, and we didn't see a whole lot of Cole Kmet in these early games, and then these last 2 wins, we saw a little bit more from Cole Kmet. So now with Colston Loveland injured, questionable, I think he's back for next game. I think with this extra week off, that'll get him healthy. We look forward to seeing more out of the 2 tight end system from Ben Johnson, and I think that is less of a worry just than the run game, just because of the fact that it's early and Ben Johnson's still kind of like working things out. The offense is still kind of adapting to his playbook and his adjustments and stuff like that. So yes, you don't want to be in that situation in week 5. You want to be there before the season. Ideally, that's preseason. That's training camp. You've adapted. You're ready to go, right? And if injuries hit, you're willing to adjust on the fly. But what I don't see any adjustment in is the run game. I really have not seen any of it from this Bears team. And that would be your saving grace because of the fact that for the most part, other than that flea flicker play 2 weeks ago, for the most part, this offense is still only throwing those screen passes. And they don't get you up the field. You might as well just run the ball at that point. If you have a better run game, you don't have to risk an interception at the line of scrimmage and have a guy go pick 6 the other way, right? That is one of the most dangerous passes. Yes, you're going to the sidelines, they're out routes, but if you get picked at the line of scrimmage, who's back there? If you get picked way down the field on a deep ball, all right, maybe you could get a couple blocks, you could get a couple stops, maybe your wide receivers step up and get a shoestring tackle, right? But if you're throwing to Cole Kmet on the outside and that ball doesn't get to Cole Kmet, and that's a big if, because I don't want to put this on Caleb. I think Caleb has done well. It's just the play calling still hasn't been there for me, and I think it's because of the fact that this Bears team knows that they don't quite have a run game.
Yeah. I think it's as simple as if you ask the question, 3rd and 5, are you confident at all in picking that up with a run? The simple answer is no. If you have DeAndre Swift in the backfield, if it's a critical 3rd down, and if running is even on the table, I don't feel confident with DeAndre Swift being the guy to do that. Do I feel confident with Kyle Monangai? No, not yet either. Not yet either. And it's a testament to, I just think these backs just aren't as talented. Maybe, like I said, we lost some tread on DeAndre Swift's tires. He just isn't the same back that he was a couple seasons ago, and maybe he was kind of just a little bit of smoke and mirrors just because he had the glorious offensive line of the Eagles a couple of years ago. So it could be a couple different cases. I'm not completely out on him. I think he can have some plays and get stuff done, but again, the confidence level in me to get a first down basically every single time you give him the ball, it's just not there. For what it's worth, the Bears coaching staff isn't upset with him because he's done everything that he's been asked for.
Right. So
it's not a matter of, he's mouthing off or he's not making plays. Like, he's done everything that he can. I feel like he is trying. He's not checked out or any sort of way. It's just the talent level isn't there. He's just a step slower than he needs to be. There needs to be some sort of correction. And again, you can't solve everything in one off season. No. If there was one thing that was going to carry over to the next, it probably was the run game. But it just does. It's a glaring issue when, again, like I've been bringing this up where, drafted a punter in the 4th round who was still available. A guy like Bucky Irving was still available. Right. So it hurts. It hurts.
And I like how you phrase that because I think I prefaced this incorrectly in a way that you said the Bears organization isn't displeased with DeAndre Swift. So I think just hearing that, if you could read between the lines, it's more of they're either not utilizing him properly, but then you look even deeper. Why aren't they utilizing him properly? Take your eyes and avert them to the offensive line. If DeAndre Swift can't find a hole to run through, then he's neutralized, right?
He's a specialty back that they're expecting to be an all-around back.
Right, yeah. And even the best running backs, unless maybe you're, Derrick Henry and you could build the hole for yourself by trucking through people, typical running backs, they need that offensive line to open things up for them. So I think that's more of a reflection, less of a reflection on the actual running back for the running game for this Bears offense, and more of a reflection on the offensive line. And that maybe takes us back to that left tackle. That maybe takes us back to just the offensive line in general. That was terrible for this Bears team last year. And like you said, you can't fix everything in one offseason, but you would like to see improvements. Now, the improvement we saw with this offensive line has been Caleb has more time in the pocket this year, right? But if he's handing it off to Swift, I'd like to see more pockets for DeAndre Swift to run through. So we shall see. Hippie J in the chat says Dak's been kicking butt, but defense is terrible, or Cowboys would be undefined. That's good. That could be true. And our valiant leader here, Dean, jumping in. He said loves our new time slot. That's thanks to you, my guy.
Yeah.
And he said, is this football or baseball? He keeps throwing you some sliders. Not too fast, but he's a good partner for you. Fun to listen to. I don't know if he's talking about you or talking about me.
I don't know.
But yeah, we'll throw each other some sliders in a little bit. We've got some baseball talk coming on the way.
Throw me some divers. I want to get grass stains.
Honestly. We got Brendan heading to a pumpkin patch today.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. It's the season
Pumpkin
for
patch
it.
weather.
I'll be having a couple of Halloween announcements here for you in a little bit, but we'll stay on the sports topic, and the only orange we'll be talking about is this Chicago Bears team, as I mentioned, going up against the Commanders in their second Monday Night Football appearance, and we're only into, well, this is week 4, but into week 5 next week when it actually happens. So not only do they get the bye week, but they don't come back on that Sunday. They get a little extra day, but they will be out in Washington to face the Commanders. After that, not to look too far ahead, but it's the Saints, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Now, the Bengals just got a little bit easier because no more Joe Burrow, but the Ravens are always that's going to be a tough matchup. I can't wait to hear our correspondent, Grant, just rub it in our faces. I'm already counting that one as a loss, and rightfully so. I mean, the Ravens are a
We'll see if they still have Lamar Jackson.
That's true. Yeah,
I know he's out this week. Potentially out the next 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. So he might be returning when they play the Bears. We'll see.
What is with that AFC North and quarterbacks going on right now? Especially your two supposed top teams. This was supposed to be a bounce back year for the Bengals, and that's just unfortunate that Joe Burrow is out like that. But the Ravens, man, you want to talk that Grant says it's a Super Bowl contending team. I don't know. Is it? I mean, I understand injuries are a part of the game, like we were saying earlier. And yes, with Lamar Jackson healthy, like this is a very talented Ravens squad, but we've seen them fall apart in the playoffs a couple of times. So
just one of those things. If you told me last year that an Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers were going to be the number 1 in the AFC North, I would just probably turn around and not talk to you. It's just as simple as that. Oh, you're a crazy person. I'm going to go this way.
The Bears do have the Steelers at home a couple weeks after that. I mean, we're looking all the way into November at that point. It's right before my birthday, actually, so I'm not going to jump that far ahead. But I will pose the question. It was, I forget which podcast or which radio show it was thrown out on, but would you rather the Bears beat the Green Bay Packers twice this season, once at home and once on the road, or would you rather the Bears beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers at home? And with the way we've seen this season start and how, I guess, talented the Steelers are leading the AFC North with Aaron Rodgers, and yes, part of that is due to the quarterback injuries for the Ravens and the Bengals that we talked about. But would you savor the win over Aaron Rodgers before he possibly retires, or do you want to against your rivals to the north?
The smart fan in me is screaming, you take those Packers wins. The meatball fan in me says, Rodgers, you're going down.
Right?
That's it.
Especially with him leading the AFC. You could say you defeated Aaron Rodgers when his team was leading their division, right? Like, so at this point,
you're not just taking down Rodgers, you're taking down Tomlin too.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
We'll add a touch.
Man, you know what? I think I'm with you on that, but the caveat here is like I'd sacrifice only one Packers win, like still beat the Packers at home. Can the perfect scenario?
No, we're Bears fans. You can't have both. You can't be satisfied, but you get one or the other.
We can split with the Packers, and I guess I could swallow that and take that at the end of the season.
You get one, the other, or it's all disappointment. There's 3 options. You got three roads.
If the Bears went 0-2 to the Packers, but they beat Rodgers. That's so tough. That is tough. Just trade Rodgers midseason. Even
is that the equivalent of Ohio State winning the Natty, but not beating Michigan? That type of thing.
Right. Yeah, that is the Bears' NCAA scenario.
Yeah.
what else we got here? We're gonna get into some baseball playoffs.
I had one for you. This was brought up on Wake Up Barstool, and I've been sitting on this one for a bit because I think it's hilarious. From one Nick to another. Nick, I forgot the last name of him. Nick, the Nick guy brought it up. He goes, "What would be more detrimental to the Buffalo Bills?" And you can kind of make the scenario for all quarterbacks and all teams. If Josh Allen had the arms of a fourth grader, the legs of a fourth grader, or the mind of a fourth grader. And I was leaning towards, let's have the mind of a fourth grader, because, fourth graders already play football. So if you really needed to, you can dumb down this offensive scheme book for Josh Allen. Be like, okay, we're running halfback 28 dive. Okay, Josh? You go, okay, I got you. So, man, if you run it, you could see a couple different scenarios. The only one I don't like is the legs of a fourth grader, because all your power comes from your legs.
Yeah, no,
you gave me the arms of a fourth grader, you can still hand the ball off. You can still run the ball.
Legs would be probably most detrimental. You're then losing, I guess, Josh Allen's arm if you were to pick arms.
You're also probably 2 feet shorter because it's a fourth grader's legs.
Right? I guess so. Yeah, I've seen, listen, nothing against any CTE victims or any football players in general, but some sports players, maybe they already have the mind of a fourth grader there. So, I'm just saying, listen, I've never had a conversation with Josh Allen. I feel like he's a pretty smart man, but if you were to tell me that he was a goofball already, I'd be like, you know what? There's nothing different there.
Yeah, I get you.
There's nothing different.
I get you.
So, yeah, my goodness. Oh, man. So one last time, Bears and Commanders, not tomorrow, not this Monday Night Football, but the following Monday Night Football into Week 5 as the Bears, into Week 6 as the Bears have a bye week here in Week 5.
Yeah,
So
I'll be honest with you. I don't know how much more football we're going to be talking. This schedule for this Week 5 is brutal.
It is. We thought Monday Night Football last week was bad between the Joe Burrow-less Bengals and the Broncos, and then the other game was the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Saving grace of that was the rivalry jerseys, that we got to see the deep water jerseys of the Miami Dolphins, but that's about it.
Yeah, in all honesty, we got the London game. I'm probably not getting up for that. In all honesty, Minnesota and Cleveland. Houston and Baltimore would have been good if CJ Stroud was doing better and if Lamar Jackson wasn't hurt. You got Giants, Saints. I'll leave it at that. Denver and the Eagles are actually going to might probably be pretty decent for the noon slate. But after that, Dallas and Jets, high scoring maybe, but that's about it. The only other saving grace in the 3 o'clock hours, Tampa Bay and Seattle, but Tampa's really banged up too, so it's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be a cool jersey matchup.
Oh,
Not to
yeah.
go back with the aesthetics, but you're gonna have, I believe they're both rivalry jerseys, or it's just the Seahawks that have rivalry jerseys, and I'm not sure what the Buccaneers ones are called, but they've got that burnt treasure map feel to them. So
okay.
I like that.
Someone pointed out that the Cardinals jersey looks like a tortilla, and I haven't been able to unsee it since.
No, that ruins it for me, because somebody was saying blood splatters, and I was like, perfect for October.
Works for October.
It's actually supposed to be like desert. Not camouflage, but as if you were stuck in a desert storm type of thing. So sand blowing all around, sand splotches and stuff. But now I'm not gonna be able to unsee a tortilla, especially with the what do they got down there, Del Taco and all that kind of stuff.
Like that.
Yeah.
Pollo Loco. Let's see.
Southwest chicken wraps.
I think we got another minute and a half. So Detroit and Cincinnati again would have been fantastic if Joe Burrow was there. Sunday night's looking okay. I hammered this already. I don't know if the spread has stayed. But if New England's still sitting at 8.5, hammer that 8.5. The Patriots have been playing pretty decent. Buffalo kind of plays.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills defense isn't the best. Playing down to their competition a little bit. So I like that 8.5, and especially it's a nice football number right there. So you don't have to really deal with if they're up a touchdown or whatever. So as long as you don't go by a touchdown and a field goal, you should be fine. And then Monday night, KC, Jags. It's one of those games where it feels like people are hurt, but no one's hurt. It's just a healthy, weird game.
Right? Yeah. And why is that a rivalry on Monday night?
I don't think it is.
It's not a rivalry.
I was playing.
Anyways, well, we'll be thrilled to have some Monday Night Football back next week when it is Bears and Commanders. As I said, Commanders turned their season around with that Hail Mary last year, and the Bears it went into the dumpster. So let's see if the mojo can flip this year, as both teams are basically 500 going into this one. 7:15 on ABC on October 13th. We've got some baseball playoffs to talk about here. You're listening to AM 1410 WRMN's On the Rise at a new hour here. Myself, Mike Napolitano, and Nick Johnston.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. That's 800-785-1673.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Listen this Sunday afternoon to Handle on the Law.
I know we're at an at-will date, but for making a comment, like, hey, your hair looks good. And then I got a call from HR saying, hey, you know what, you're under investigation. Do I have any recourse?
Were you fired?
No, not yet.
The problem, Eddie, is they can fire you for any reason they want. They literally can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm a little bored this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Eddie for no reason. Yep, he can do that. Yeah, that's California. Yep, welcome.
It's Handle on the Law this Sunday afternoon from 4 to 7 right here on WRMN.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM.
Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN. You're listening to On the Rise here at a new hour from the 10 to noon slot here as a part of our River Media Network Sports Saturdays. You already heard from The Truth About Chicago Sports from 8 to 9, and from 9 to 10 it was Fantasy Football Blitz. So keeping things moving here with your sports talk. We've talked football already in that fantasy football blitz, and then in this first segment, we'll switch things over to the talk of the town here in Chicago. It is playoff baseball season, and for one team that has meant some postseason success thus far in the wild card round, it is the Chicago Cubs knocking off the San Diego Padres, winning games 1 and 3 of the wild card series, both 3-1. So a little deja vu for the Cubs, but they get the job done at the friendly confines, and they send San Diego packing. This was a little bit of a surprise to me. Not that I haven't seen this Cubs team perform like they have all season long dominantly, despite some injuries. And we talked about a couple of those times where they maybe hit the brakes a little bit, but this Padres team has had more playoff experience than the Cubs. And I think you know just as well as I do after watching, say the White Sox in 2020 and 2021, that you can win game 1 of a wild card series, but if you lose game 2 and it comes down to pitching in game 3 and you don't have that depth of the rotation, which the Cubs do not really have based on injuries, it could be anybody's game. So the Cubs defense showed up to play, and they got the job done, and Chicago was buzzing this past weekend.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything new. Baseball is the craziest thing because you can be down all game long, and it just takes one pitch, one hit, and you're basically back in it. You're in the lead. And it could be all sorts of different things. And exactly right. Where the Padres have had more playoff experience, and this team just going to the playoffs as of late, because the Cubs haven't been to the playoffs since 2021. Haven't won a series besides winning in yesterday's series. Haven't won a series since 2017. So this is really, really interesting. I might get some Homer fans mad, but man, oh man, if you're downplaying that strike call, that was well below the strike zone.
Yeah,
that is a very important play. To sit there and be like, oh, that didn't determine anything. That was a humongous factor. Yes, all the outside things. Yes. Was Nico Horner safe? Was that a blown call? Yes, it was. Was the fact that Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Arraez, and I think it was one, I forgot who else, was 2 for 22 the entire series. Yes, that's a huge factor. But you cannot downplay that strike 3 right there to be out number 1. That would have been first. That would have been first man on, and then he plucked the 2 guys afterward. That would have been bases loaded with no outs, down 3-1.
Even on the broadcast, they were like, next year when they have the ABS review system, you're tapping your helmet immediately, and that call is getting overturned. I mean, that was so blatant. It was bad.
Yeah, and we already kind of went over. I was asking throughout the week, like, what is going to entail for this ABS system? It is only the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter are only going to be able to call that, and that was immediate. That would have been a great challenge right there by Xander Bogaerts. So, yeah, this is just, again, for any Cub fan that's downplaying that like, oh, that didn't determine it. No, that was a humongous play right there.
And we're just highlighting that, but as you mentioned, there were other calls throughout the series.
Oh yeah,
yes,
without a doubt.
Maybe it went both ways, like you said, the sliding into second and the Cubs not being called safe on that play. Yes, but I mean, it had gone against the San Diego Padres, at least at the plate for the majority of, at the very least, if you want to argue, at the very least, it was game 3. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see too much out of game 1. I think the Cubs won that one fair and square.
Yeah.
Game 2, San Diego gets the win. So despite any calls, they pull away. The magic number in this series was 3. A 3-1 victory for the Cubs in game 1. 3-0 win for the Padres in game 2. And they kind of put Chicago on their backs up against the wall. And, of course, this is a rubber match, so both teams' backs are up against the wall. Their seasons are on the line. And like you said, that just makes that missed call right there so much more important, so much of an integral pitch to that game that, you hate to see a call blown like that. But that's why I can't wait till next year with this ABS strikes ball system, So
I had other issues just throughout this wild card series. Like, I'm not a fan of all 3 games being at one venue. Like, it needs to travel. And for all those, like, oh, traveling is too much. Oh, it's too much when these guys are on luxurious private jets.
Yeah.
No, I'm not buying that anymore.
They can fly themselves out.
They got more leg space than we do in this entire radio station right now. So you're not going to sit there and tell me that, oh, traveling is such an issue. No, that is a 1950s argument right there. That is gone out the window.
The only reason that there wasn't travel to begin these wild card series was because because this got expanded in 2020, which I think you said 2021. The Cubs haven't been in the playoffs since 2020.
Oh.
That was that year that both teams made it, but the Cubs were swept by Miami in the wild card round, so they didn't get a win that year. The last time the Cubs got a playoff series win was a playoff win in general was the 2017 NLCS. So it's been a while for this Cubs team. It's been a while for Chicago as a whole. I think Chicago is just happy to see postseason.
Yeah.
Because the last time any Chicago team has made it to the postseason was 2021 with the White Sox, who were up against a juggernaut in the Astros, who made fairly short work of those White Sox. They did get one win in Game 3, but Game 4 went by the wayside. And the only hero in Game 4, after it was a 10-1 final, but it was 1-0 White Sox at a time, it was Gavin Sheets with the solo homer, and Gavin Sheets goes down with these Padres here in this wild card round to the Cubs. So the Cubs take the victory.
We'll head up 94.
PCA was fired up, and now they're going to have an even bigger challenge with their rivals to the north, as you said, the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been the best team in baseball practically all year. They went on that huge run to overtake the Cubs for the division, and it's going to be a dogfight in this best-of-5 series that starts today at 1:10.
108 first pitch. This is going to be really weird with the scheduling. We get all 4 games today, and then the NL squads are off tomorrow. They're back on
Monday.
On Monday, yeah, and then they're off again for travel. So going every other day for these NLs, it's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of it, as opposed to the AL teams that you're going to get Yankees, Blue Jays, and then Tigers, Mariners today and tomorrow, and they get to travel regularly. So it's going to be weird for the NL squads for a little bit. I'm not, obviously. The TV's going to determine it for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the Cubs advancing, I would have said, hey, maybe they should have went yesterday.
Yeah,
I know they need that off day, but they should have probably went yesterday.
And that brings up that age-old question of, would you rather have rest or would you be ready to go?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the same thing, but when you're the Brewers and you've sat there watching the Cubs dismantle the Padres like that and go to a Game 3, so it goes the distance, it goes the length. Now you were the best team in baseball all season long, but now you're on like a week of rest. Does that help you or does that hurt you? Then you're an extra day of rest. Then you get one game and then another day of rest.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
it's going to throw off a lot of people's inner timeline. That's going to mess them up real bad.
I wonder if this would actually favor the teams coming in from the wild card round, which
without a doubt, they're in some sort of swing. Yeah.
Right, which would be the Cubs when it comes to Cubs and Brewers, and then why am I blanking? Dodgers and Phillies. Yeah. So that would favor the Dodgers. Although this Phillies team has been mashing the cover off the ball. But this Cubs team, I said it before we jump into these other series, I said it before, with the injuries in this pitching, I know Derek was talking about it on the show last night. He said something about how somebody mentioned this Cubs bullpen has been great. I don't think this Cubs bullpen has been that great all year long.
No, not all year long. This series, yes.
Yes,
but not all year long.
This series, yes. But then you take into account that you don't really have the best starting rotation either. Yes, this series, they were great. And they're going to get a little bit of that rest that we were talking about.
And I think they're probably going to add an arm to the roster. I think they're probably going to take out a bat. I'm not quite sure who, but
that's true too. Let me see how far ahead they've scheduled their pitchers. Last night I know it was Boyd.
Boyd's
just for Game 1.
Boyd's getting the start today. Freddie Peralta on the bump for the Brewers tonight.
How about Freddie Peralta coming? I mean, he was kind of like falling off the cliff for a little bit there, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's back to being the Freddie Peralta.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Jose Quintana.
Yes, that's true.
So he'll be coming back in this series as well.
All of this Brewers pitching. Hey, Peralta's only 29, but he feels like he's been in the league since he's been like 12, right? Like, so, I mean, that's huge for this Milwaukee team. And yes, Game 1 and Game 2 will be today and Monday, both up at American Family Field. It's still Miller Park to me, but up in Milwaukee. It's a 1:08 p.m. first pitch today on TBS and HBO Max. Monday's game will be on TBS 2 TV and HBO Max at 8:08 p.m. That's weird to me, too. I know it's because they want to stagger the games and, you could watch them nationally, but for two Central teams to be starting at 8 o'clock, it's not going to wrap up until like 10:30. It's a little weird to me. However, I said it before, and I'll say it again. If the Cubs could have made short work of the Padres, I think they go into this series with much better pitching depth, much well-rested arms. Now it's going to be a struggle. Maybe not at the beginning of this series. Actually, maybe the Cubs with starting Boyd have the advantage at the start of this series. But I don't think you have the rest and the pitching depth like Milwaukee does to go 5 with the Brewers. If it goes 5, I think Milwaukee's taking it, especially because it's in Milwaukee. Games 3 and 4, if needed 4, would be at the friendly confines over at Wrigley Field. That'd be Wednesday, October 8th and Thursday, October 9th. 4:08 p.m. for the Wednesday game, 8:08 p.m. for the Thursday game, still on those same channels. Saturday would be, if necessary, Game 5 at 3:38 p.m. up in Milwaukee. So this is going to be a week-long affair for this Cubs team, and I don't know if they come out of this unscathed. Even if they get past this Brewers team, who they've had their number in the regular season. I think you throw the regular season out, especially when it comes to all the choke memes for the Brewers. If everybody says like, oh, the Brewers, they do this and then they get there and then they fall apart. I think this is finally the year that the Brewers figure it out, especially when you're going up against your rivals in the Cubs. But then again, we saw another series where the team who overtook the division, they wanted it back.
Oh, yeah.
And the other team wanted it back, and they got it back. So do the Cubs get their revenge here and continue what they did during the regular season to the Brewers? Or do the Brewers say, hey, we've been here before?
Yeah, that I'm not quite sure with the Cubs. If you've been listening to any media for just post-game, pre-game, anything throughout the past couple days, Pat Murphy's been on, and he's been talking as if this team's got a chip on their shoulder. He's kind of talking like, we're basically the little engine that could, because, we did win the division, sure, but the Cubs were supposed to win the division. They were the odds-on favorite all year long. They had control of it for a big portion, and then obviously the Brewers came and had their 2 11-game win streaks, and they were able to just kind of take away from there. So they're coming in, and they're coming in with the idea that exactly that they're the underdog no matter what. Like they're the team that doesn't have as big of a payroll as the Cubs do. He didn't really put a number on it. He's like, some teams, have 4 times the payroll that we do, stuff like that, and you're just getting in there. So he understands, and I think this squad understands that exactly that this is going to be huge. I feel like it was humongous for the Brewers, not only to win the division, but to just have home field advantage in any sort of way. Right. So to get those first 2 in Milwaukee, that crowd's going to be ruckus, because obviously we just saw it was ear deafening over at Wrigley. I got a couple of buddies there who said that Michael Busch home run, you couldn't hear anything. It was crazy. Wow. Everyone was going nuts. But on the flip side, ESPN, the people that were broadcasting this, stop messing with the fan, the audience level, the audio volume. I don't know if you noticed this. They were turning down the volume of the fans after a big play, after a big home run, just so these broadcasters. We love our broadcasters, obviously, right, but some of them are just making nonsensical comments that they not need to be turned up for the fan volume to be turned down. So sorry, guys. ESPN, do better. It's as simple as that.
There have been so many calls in history in which you hear a guy or you see a guy hit a game-altering home run or just a game-altering play in general, and the announcer just sits there in the booth quietly and lets you take in the atmosphere, even if you're at home.
The good ones will do that, yes.
Yes. I mean, just do that a little bit, please, because you know what? I mean, Wrigley has been bumping. This is about to be a series between Wrigley Field and Wrigley North, as many Cub fans call it. So, I mean, it's going to be loud in both houses.
Another reason for Brewers fans and the players just to be like, oh, exactly that. We're not Wrigley North. Like, what are we talking about?
Defend home.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, we shall see. This is going to be an exciting matchup. Let me do some research here. The last time the Cubs faced off against the Brewers in the playoff series, I wonder if it has ever happened before, because I think we would have heard about it. But
it's definitely been a bit for sure.
One of the other series that I was referring to, well, before I get into that, how about yet another former White Sox that the Cubs will be facing, and not only just a former White Sox that has more success after leaving the South Side. We're not talking Gavin Sheets anymore. The Padres are sent packing. Now we're talking about Andrew Vaughn. and of course Jose Quintana on this Brewers team. But more so, the storyline this year has been Andrew Vaughn because of the fact that he was just absolutely dominating in a Brewers uniform right after he leaves the White Sox. He had numbers that rivaled, I believe it was either Babe Ruth or Joe DiMaggio. He had numbers that rivaled Mike Trout and Aaron Judge with this Brewers squad. And of course, it wasn't feasible and it wasn't going to withstand the entire rest of the season. But playing much better, Andrew Vaughn. I mean, he's got to be a big factor in this series.
You would think his bat's going to have to get hot. Obviously, Christian Yelich is going to have to be the same thing. But I think it's really what we were talking about earlier. It's just the arms, the bullpen, the starters. That's going to really determine it for the Brewers. If the starters are going 6 innings deep, it's going to be lights. It's going to be good luck for the Cubs. It's as simple as that. I was trying to find out what you were saying earlier. Yeah, when was the last time the Cubs and Brewers faced off in a playoff matchup? Not exactly a playoff series, but it says 2018. The Cubs and Brewers had to have a game 163.
That's true.
So if you want to count that, I also found this right here. They played 456 times. This is from Christina Laurie. So also, she has a little check bar next to her name, so she got to be verified. Faced off 456 times before. Cubs and Brewers have never played each other in the postseason until now. Okay, wow. All right, there you go. That answers that.
That's what I was just reading too.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Brewers have the all-time record, 230-226 over the Cubs right now. And let's see this last statement right here. They also hold the record for the largest victory, 18-1 on August 2nd, 2010, and the longest winning streak, 11 games from April 24th to September 18th, 2021. So obviously she's rooting for the Brewers there, Christina, but I kind of am too. But yes, clearly, like I said, that just answered that. Brewers and Cubs have never played each other in the postseason. Pretty crazy.
This will be historic. I mean, we've seen Cubs versus Cardinals in the postseason before, and we know about that rivalry. It dates back to their basically both teams' inceptions. But Brewers, of course, they went under many different names, and there was many different franchises. There was the Milwaukee Braves for a little bit. But this is a just as heated of a rivalry and an even closer rivalry. It's just instead of what is it, a 4-hour drive to St. Louis or 3-hour drive or something like that?
Something like that, about 4 probably.
This is barely an hour, right? So I mean, we're talking we could see a lot of Brewers fans here in Chicago, and we're going to definitely see a lot of Cub fans that will travel up to Milwaukee.
Oh, heck yeah. Did you see the prices, how they jumped?
Oh, I bet.
So before the series was done between the Cubs and the Padres, standing room only was $40. Immediately jumped to $120.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then for Wrigley, same thing. It went from just a chance, didn't even guarantee the win. They were selling tickets just in case. Right around like 150. As soon as they won, $225 just to get in the door.
Yeah, but Wrigley's always an arm and a leg.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's also one of those things where I love these matchups right now. It was only one team, the Reds, being like hey, what are you doing here? Like with all these playoff matchups. Yeah. But honestly, all these teams deserve to be here. That was a great round one, that wild card round. I mean, we got Yankees and Red Sox in the first round. That ended the way it did.
If you want to call it a reverse sweep, basically, even though it's a 3-game series, the Red Sox thought they were running away with it.
Gentleman's sweep and tip of the cap, yeah.
And going back to White Sox players that have had success since leaving the White Sox, that was a series where it was Lucas Giolito and Garrett Crochet who were absolutely dealing versus Carlos Rodon, who I saw earlier this season take on the White Sox. And so Carlos Rodon gets the last laugh. And, despite having Giolito and Crochet, and they were talking about that Red Sox pitching all year, it was the Red Sox pitching depth that lost them games 2 and game 3, and maybe some mistakes by their managing staff. I don't think Aaron Boone did much better of a job of managing his pitchers.
I was saying this beforehand. It was just a matter of if Aaron Boone gets in there and doesn't overmanage this game, the Yankees will win. Right. The Yankees had more power. The Yankees had a couple more better rosters.
The bat on the ball too.
Yeah. So they were doing a little bit better there. And honestly, it was that rookie, that Sheetling. I'm gonna butcher it.
Was it a Schlitter? I think it was a Schlitter.
Something like that. Oh, as long as you don't spill any on me. Yeah, I mean, he came in. He's a rookie. Game 3, he was electric. And even Alex Cora had to tip his cap. He just goes, stuff like that. There's just nothing you could do.
Cam Schlitter.
There you go. Came in, I think, at 12 strikeouts, no walks. Like, that's what you want that is an MLB The Show type performance. Like, you're just getting in there like, I'm going to do something crazy with my created player. And you're going to go ahead and just have 12 strikeouts and no walks.
A shutout through 8, 5 hits given up in those 12 strikeouts, as you mentioned. That's impressive. Not to be confused with Schlitter, who pitched for the for the Dogs and the Cubs.
There you go. That sounds about right.
Friend of the family, by the way. But wow. This has been unbelievable to see from the Yankees. If you asked me, I was rooting for Boston, but man, this Yankees team was 94-68 after the season. Aaron Judge is up for MVP. Do you think he gets MVP? I think it should go to Big Dumper. I think Cal Raleigh has had to play the catcher position all year long, which is one of the toughest positions, and has put up 60-plus home runs by a catcher, which has never been done before. But Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, and he is a freak of nature, and yes, he's only played DH, but he has mashed the ball as well. So
it's not something that will be thought of or considered right away, but as the catcher, you are the defensive captain. You're calling the play. You're calling the pitches. Right. You're managing basically a lot of different things. You're managing the defenses. To have that 60 home runs, you're a switch hitter.
Yeah, switch hitter too.
It is a lot going for you. So I am leaning towards Cal Raleigh being the MVP. However, I'm going to give the Hank Aaron Award, basically the Offensive Player of the Year, to Aaron Judge. He's hitting better, has like 30 more hits than Cal Raleigh, has a better average. But
he leads in all those stats.
Again, in terms of if you take Cal Raleigh off the Mariners, they're probably 10 less wins. It's just one of those things where, again, who's the most valuable player to that team? It is Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, no doubt. I could at least say I shook the hand of the Hank Aaron Award winner then at that point this year, which was surreal. I'm gonna keep saying that until maybe until the end of days, right? Like, who could say Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio aren't around anymore. So who's the next Yankee that you can meet and or shake hands with? And that would be Aaron Judge, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah, Brandon Combs would be turning if we were to say the best Yankee player ever, as I forget who at 670 with him was saying, Aaron Judge is the best Yankee player in history. It's like, have you looked at the Yankees' history?
That's modern day Yankee.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I mean,
because it ain't gonna be Juan Soto because he switched sides.
Well,
and how the Mets do in these playoffs? Oh,
they did.
Wait a minute. All that money and. Man, I don't want to ever hear the White Sox be compared to the Mets ever again, because that right there, the New York Mets, are a true dumpster fire of an organization. The White Sox are on the come up. And we had a nice closeout to the end of this White Sox season, and I'm excited for next year as well.
I am too. Like I said, being able to go out with a win, classy move by the Nationals and the White Sox to put on that, giving it to Michael A. Taylor for his retirement. They played a little like montage beforehand. Even before that game, or earlier, the Nationals broadcaster was also kind of recognized too. So that was really cool for just nice big day, nice game, 162 for the White Sox and the Nationals. But yeah, honestly, like I said, if it's just a matter of who can get better, let's get another 10 plus wins. Let's go for 70 next year as a White Sox. That should probably be the goal.
Yeah,
I would hope that should be good.
An almost 20 plus win improved season. So, I mean, if you make that stride next year, you're basically a 500 team. You make that stride that following year, you're close to 100 wins. So, it had to be a quick turnaround. But, Michael A. Taylor, he was a Lake Forest-born product and then, moved to Miami, won a World Series with the Nationals. So, it was fitting that he got to conclude his career with the team he was born near and the team that he won a World Series with in the Nationals. So, that was great. We'll get, maybe if we have some time, we'll run down the rest of these playoff matchups because so much playoff baseball is coming your way within the next week. But keep it locked in to hear all of your Cubs news right here on AM 1410 WRMN. We've got more playoffs coming up in a Chicago team. I know I could say those words again, but first, we've got some hockey talk right here. Stay tuned for the 11 o'clock hour right here on the Rise. Myself, Mike Napolitano, and Nick Johnston.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 11 o'clock.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Trump administration is using the government shutdown to withhold federal funding from projects in states with Democrat senators.
White House Budget Director Russ Vought announced the withholding of $2 billion for Chicago infrastructure projects. It affects a long-awaited plan to extend the city's Red Line train. Earlier in the week, Vought made a similar announcement by halting $18 billion for infrastructure in New York. However, on Friday, President Trump personally reversed some of those funding cuts, restoring $187 million for New York's law enforcement and counterterrorism operations, following outcry from both Democrats and Republicans. Greg Clugston, Washington.
GOP Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska says Democrat leader Chuck Schumer is personally responsible for the shutdown.
Schumer once said that making huge demands on a clean CR is, quote, political idiocy. Well, guess who's committing political idiocy right now? Chuck Schumer with the Schumer shutdown, and he's doing it just to appease the left wing.
ICE protesters were out in force near Chicago.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited a Chicago area ICE facility as agents detained protesters outside. Noem met with employees at the ICE processing facility in Broadview, Illinois.
And that is Ed Donahue reporting more Americans now living paycheck to paycheck.
And the trend is expected to get worse. According to a Goldman Sachs report, by 2033, 55% of workers will be living paycheck to paycheck, with the number going up to 65% by 2043. People are just paying a lot more for everything. Childcare, college, housing, and renting. Those rising costs combined with major life disruptions are hitting younger workers the hardest. Overall, many have stopped their retirement contributions, borrowed from their plans, or delayed retirement. Bill Alexander, Washington.
More on these stories from townhall.com.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. We know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Israel's army is preparing for the first phase of President Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza and see the hostages returned. That follows Hamas's acceptance of some parts of the deal. Here's the BBC's Hugo Bachega.
Hamas was under a lot of pressure to accept at least some points of President Trump's deal for Gaza. With its yes, but response, this is exactly what they've done. They have agreed to release all the remaining Israeli hostages, both living and dead, and that Gaza will be governed by technocrats. But the group statement doesn't mention its disarmament, which has been a major Israeli demand, or the exile of its members. In Gaza, many are expressing hope that these dramatic developments could finally pave the way for the war to end.
The plan includes Hamas releasing hostages and disarming, while Israel is supposed to halt its offensive and allow more humanitarian aid into Gaza. Breaking news at townhall.com. The flu season is coming upon us now, and with that, the decision for many whether or not to get a flu shot.
Experts say this month, October, is the ideal time to get protected before flu cases begin climbing in November. Dr. Philip Wong, director of Dallas County Health and Human Services in Texas.
It's really important. It's preventable. These are effective. They're safe. Again, it's a very serious illness. It can cause very severe illness, hospitalizations, and even death, and it does that every year.
And if you don't like needles, the nasal spray Flu Mist is available for ages 2 to 49. I'm Ben Thomas.
Lithium-ion batteries are increasingly being used to store power for some electricity grids, but some localities are enacting moratoriums because of the fear of fire. In New York, they say they're not sure local fire crews could handle a serious blaze at such a site. More from town.
A loved one owns a gun, and for a while now, you've been concerned about their behavior. They're just not acting like themselves. They've been distant, they've been unpredictable, they've been lashing out. They've been saying things that make you worried they might harm themselves or friends or family. Or you're worried this loved one might hurt you. Maybe they recently threatened someone with their gun. You know something needs to be done, and you wish more than anything you could hit pause on this situation. Well, here in Illinois, you can, with a firearm restraining order. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before they do something dangerous or even deadly. If you are worried about a loved one in crisis who has access to a firearm, learn more about firearm restraining orders at illinois.gov/pause to heal. A public service announcement brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady, and the Ad Council.
We've heard that this is one of the deepest camps in a while. Are you expecting to look to Rockford a lot during the season, or try to just keep a consistent group up top here at the NHL level?
I would say, generally, you're not necessarily just flipping guys in and out. It depends how well guys are playing. It depends how well guys are playing up top. Certainly injuries play a factor in that. I think ultimately the better organizational depth you have, the better you're going to be in short-term and long-term. So, I do think there's more good players than spots on the team. So that's a good thing for us organizationally. It can be a hard thing for the individual player, but it's a good thing for us organizationally.
Do you have a timetable for Swagger?
He'll go full practice on Tuesday. He won't play Tuesday, but he'll be out there and get ramping up, hopefully play on the weekend.
That was head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, Jeff Blashill, kind of talking right before the season starts here. And that was actually last Sunday, right before they went out to Minnesota in order to play the Wild. We didn't really dive into Blackhawks too much last week, but they had started their preseason. So a loss against Detroit, a 3-2 loss in Detroit, followed by a 4-2 win in St. Louis, and then a 4-1 win out in Minnesota. That Sunday practice that myself and Sophia Blackburn hold on, we got a fly in here, or a little gnat. I don't like it. Anyways, that myself and Sophia Blackburn got to experience, that was the group that won that game down in St. Louis for the most part, and a couple of players that weren't traveling with the team. Namely, you heard in that question Landon Slaggert's timetable on when he was going to return. And then the Blackhawks did get the win out in Minnesota that evening. They come home on Tuesday, unfortunately fall 3-1 to Detroit. That was Spencer Knight in net. That was his second start after that 4-2 St. Louis victory. And then Minnesota once more last night, a 3-2 loss. Spencer Knight was also in net for. So Comesso does get a win as he comes up from Rockford. And Drew Comesso, we saw a little bit of him last year. We're looking to see if he takes that next jump this year. But in my question to Jeff Blashill, I was asking him kind of, are you looking to see if the Blackhawks are going to pull a lot from Rockford this year, or if you're just trying to keep a consistent core up at the NHL level? So the Blackhawks will conclude their preseason this evening, 6 p.m. at home against the St. Louis Blues. And then it'll be off to the regular season, which starts on Tuesday. We've got all of your Blackhawks news right here for you, and a couple of other hockey surprises coming during this season. on AM 1410 WRMN. You're listening to On the Rise here at a new hour. We're here from 10 to noon rather than 8 to 10. So we should be having a couple of guests coming on to talk Blackhawks hockey throughout the season. Namely, next week, we will be talking to the Rockford IceHogs broadcaster, Dana Gray. And the only reason we're not talking a little bit of more goalie talk with former Chicago Blackhawk Scott Darling right now is because he's getting married today.
Hey, congrats.
So he's like, hey, I can't come on because I'm getting married. So congrats to Scott Darling, a Lamont native, local hero for the Chicago Blackhawks in that 2015 Stanley Cup championship run. So yeah, I think getting married is a little bit more important than coming on to talk to us for a half an hour.
Yeah,
we'll pick his brain on the goaltending later on as the season gets underway, but the season will be underway as of Tuesday. That'll be in Florida against the defending champs on their banner raising night. That's always fun for the Blackhawks to have to see the defending champs right out the gates. That'll be a 4 p.m. matinee start, which
that happened last year. I feel like that happened.
Yeah. They play Florida in their home opener, and then the home opener
like
last
that,
year.
Or I felt like they played the Golden Knights.
I don't know if it was last year. Yeah, we might have played the Golden Knights. Blackhawks might have played the Golden Knights.
I could be wrong. I felt like this just happened.
Every year it seems like the Blackhawks are getting pitted up against the defending champs. The one year it was Pittsburgh because they wanted feed
them to the Wolves. Go ahead.
They wanted Connor Bedard's first ever game to be against his idol in Sidney Crosby, and that ended up working out well for the Blackhawks. However, it was like, okay, let's just throw him up against a playoff caliber Penguins team with Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So the Blackhawks will be in Florida, 4 p.m., which is actually 3 p.m. Florida time, Eastern time. So I don't know why a matinee game like that, but okay, Tuesday. It'll begin the season. That'll be on ESPN. Then it'll be Thursday in Boston as the Blackhawks stay on the road. It'll be a 6 p.m. puck drop. ESPN Plus will have the game coverage for that one. And then next Saturday, after we are off the mics, it'll be the Blackhawks home opener. It'll be a 6 p.m. start time on NHL Network against the Montreal Canadiens. We haven't dropped the video yet, but I did get a chance to talk to Colton Dock, who just scored his first preseason goal a couple nights ago against the Wild. Colton Dock will be facing off against his brother and former third overall pick for the Blackhawks, Kirby Dock, in this in this home opener for the Chicago Blackhawks. And then they stay at home next Monday to face the Utah Mammoth, who now have a team name. It was the Utah Hockey Club last year after their first season out in Utah. Of course, formerly the Arizona Coyotes and the Phoenix Coyotes, but moved to Utah. And now they have a logo with some tusks and everything. The Mammoth will be in town on Monday. That is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, however you celebrate
logo, by the way.
Yeah, it is a really cool logo. And that'll be on the same night as Bears Monday Night Football. So the Bears will be out in Washington. The Blackhawks will be home at the United Center against the Utah Mammoth at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN+. I know WRMN has some plans to cover the Columbus Day Parade downtown, so be tuned in for that coverage as well. But sticking in the hockey realm, I think this is a year for the Blackhawks. You get a couple of new guys in. We got to talk to Matt Grzelcyk, too. You can check that out on all of our socials, who is here on a paid tryout, a PTO, after a couple of years with the Boston Bruins and a stint with the Pittsburgh Penguins last year. This is a Blackhawks squad that's looking to still bring in that veteran presence to teach these young players how to, go about the process of an 82-game NHL season. But the youth is starting to move here, and it looks a lot like the Chicago White Sox, but further along, I should say, in this rebuild. I've said it on this show before, and we've heard multiple reports of it being one of the deepest camps that this Blackhawks organization has ever seen, and we're going to see probably a lot of it start out in Rockford, not to rush anybody's development here at the NHL level, but I'm hearing Sam Rinzel may start at the Blackhawks level. We're going to finally see tonight. It should look a lot more like a Blackhawks roster today when we take a look at this final preseason game, because mostly all the cuts have been made. Give me 1 second. I usually go off of our correspondent and friend of the show, Charlie Remeliotis, to see if there are any updates. It doesn't look like there are any this morning, but I would be shocked to see if Levshunov doesn't make this Blackhawks team as well. So Sam Rinzel, Artem Levshunov, expect them to be Blackhawks at the start of this season. So we shall see how things go. And if you want all of your Blackhawks news, you can tune in right here on AM 1410 WRMN. Excited to get some hockey underway. It will be the centennial season for this Chicago Blackhawks squad. They were first playing in 1926. So as soon as we get through this 25-26 season, it'll be 100 years of Blackhawks hockey. And they have those gold-trimmed jerseys to show for it. So you're used to seeing just the black, the white, and the red. If you think back to the 90s and even the 80s Blackhawks, they had that gold trim around the logo that they're bringing back. But not only have they brought it back there, they're bringing it back on the number, or they're putting it on the numbers on the back of the jerseys as well. I don't know quite how to feel about it on the numbers, because it makes it look like the numbers have a little bit more of a shadow to them than they normally do. And I'll be honest, it kind of looks like their ECHL affiliate, the Indy Fuel, because they are like a red, white, black, and gold, like orange style, because they're the Fuel. But they're exciting, and I'm interested to see. The center ice at the United Center is also painted with the 100 logo.
Nice.
I don't know how to feel about that too, though. Like, because you've got the Blackhawk head that usually takes up all of center ice, and it's beautiful. Now it says 100, and the Blackhawk head is smaller. Like, couldn't you have put the hundreds like maybe by the blue lines where they usually?
I would have put
like
the Blackhawk head in the background, have the little 100 right in the front and in the foreground.
Yeah,
right. Just put it like still smaller so you can still see the logo.
Right. But you're
not a graphic design
wrong.
artist by chance, but I like to have a couple ideas every now and again.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to a specific game, I know we love our giveaways here.
Yes.
Is there a certain giveaway day? I know obviously isn't Jonathan Toews coming back for a game like that? Obviously when Winnipeg comes back.
That is pretty much the only game that I think Blackhawks fans have. Well, I shouldn't say the only game, because it's going to be an exciting season nonetheless. But if you had to pick one by far, it is going to be on January 19th. 19th.
Nice.
When Jonathan Toews and the Winnipeg Jets come to town. It'll be Jonathan Toews' first ever game since his return. First time not in a Blackhawks sweater. Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. That'll be a rocking house. It's not the first time the Blackhawks are going to see Jonathan Toews, though. They'll see him this month, Thursday, October 30th, right before Halloween, a 7 p.m. game on ESPN Plus, and that'll be in Winnipeg. So they'll start out against Jonathan Toews up in Manitoba, up in Winnipeg. But yeah, Jeff Stramrold saying, go Hawks, go. We'll see. This is going to be a year where I feel like this Blackhawks team, despite how young they are, have the talent to maybe flirt with a wild card spot, maybe just a bubble team. But I don't know if this is the big step forward just yet. So we'll see. But Jeff Stramrold saying, hoping to have a successful season. Yes, nonetheless, a successful season. And that doesn't have to come necessarily in the win column. That could be this Blackhawks team just, getting these young stars developed. Connor Bedard having a really good season. I know there's been a lot of talk about, does he hit 40 goals this season? I'm on the fence about that, because it depends on who he's playing with. We saw his lines get jumbled up quite a bit last year.
So what is the realistic goal for Connor Bedard this year?
I think a solid 30 to 35 goal season would be fine. And you know what? If he's not putting up the goals, we saw a spinorama pass set up from him the other night that was actually compared to a Patrick Kane spinorama setup. So, I mean, just one's a lefty and one's a righty. But I would love to see him hit point per game status, because first year he didn't get to it because, well, technically he was a point per game player, but he didn't play the full 82 games. So I think he played somewhere around 60, and he was like just shy of 60 points. And then last year he was not a point per game player, but I would love to see Connor Bedard get to that point per game status. I think that would be a huge step forward and would show that he is going to be that dominant force in the league that everybody predicts him to be. And if he's not so much the flashy goal scorer, but the setup man, that works all the same. I mean, that just means Frank Nazar's numbers are going to be higher in the goal total at the end of the season. So
I like that.
You know, that would
also like the rookie
nice
Nick Lardis, the fellow Greek, fellow Nick. So I like that. I'll ask you. Then maybe we can do this. Maybe turn it into a game. Fill in the blank for me. It is a successful season for the Blackhawks if blank. If blank happens. If what happened? Yeah.
I'm trying to make this a short answer, but there's a couple glaring things. Obviously, like I said, if Connor Bedard can take that next step forward, but more on a broad scale, if I'd say 5 to 10 young prospects for this Blackhawks team can make that jump forward to being not necessarily mainstay NHL players, but can come up from Rockford regularly or even towards the end of the season and get that NHL time. If you have this next era, this next generation of Blackhawks hockey making that jump, that's a successful season to me. Whether or not you're getting the wins, I know part of the reason why you keep a lot of these players down in the system is so that they're not experiencing loss after loss after loss at the NHL level, because they're not ready or they're just going to be playing with a team that isn't going to be able to get them the wins, and you don't want them to lose confidence. But I'll take a couple losses if it means individually some of these players are starting to click together. And I say individually, and then I say click together. So you want them to do what they need to do and play their roles individually, but have that built chemistry now on the ice to work as a whole. Maybe they're not still getting those wins, but work as a whole in this rebuild. So that would be huge. And it's just going to be a fun season at the United Center. They're back to doing giveaways. Last year, there wasn't a whole lot of giveaway talk. So a couple bobblehead nights, couple of important nights in which I believe they're going to be honoring Duncan Keith. And who was the other one that they inducted into the Ring of Honor, it looks like. But it'll be the very first Ring of Honor for the Blackhawks. So
it'd be funny if they did a mouth guard with the 2 front teeth missing. That'd be a good giveaway.
That would be awesome. Yeah, Duncan Teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts or Dunkin', whatever you're calling it now. So
I'll serve the same question to the audience if anyone wants to fill in the blanks in the YouTube section. Fill in the blank, exactly that. The Hawks have a successful season if blank, if this happens. So yeah, just wanted to throw it out there. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm on the side of just, again, hockey not my strong suit in terms of the X's and O's, but if it's just a matter of Connor Bedard improving yet again, if it's just the idea again, kind of like how it was with the White Sox, if it just can go from not watchable to we got some guys here, we got some moves that can be made, it can actually be watchable, serviceable hockey to be watched. That's gonna be the goal for me. So yeah.
We may have watchable, serviceable hockey right up the road here from us in the Fox Valley for one final season. That is the Chicago Steel, who are set to make their move to the Fifth Third Arena with the Blackhawks practice facility in 2026-27. So enjoy this last season over at Fox Valley Ice Arena. The preseason started back at the start of September, but we were covering so much baseball here with 2 teams in the championships in their respective leagues that we kind of neglected the Steel, but they are up the road. A lot of losses in this preseason. They lost both games to the Dubuque Fighting Saints, one out in Dubuque and one at home. That was a 6-1 loss and a 7-5 loss. So still giving up a lot of goals. We saw this from this team last year, but at this development program, you hope to have a quick turnaround and a new batch of players coming through. You're going to see a couple of mainstay names that you heard from last year. They go on to lose to the Muskegon Lumberjacks 4-1, but then get the win at home against the Lumberjacks back in early September 4-1. So a little bit of back and forth there. That concluded their preseason, but of course they went on to the Dick's Sporting Goods USHL Fall Classic. That was 2 victories, one against the Sioux Falls Stampede. So Fox Valley teams really taking it to those Sioux Falls teams. I'll just put that out there. Roll Cougars. A 5-1 victory for the Steel, followed by a win September 19th against the Omaha Lancers, 4-1 in this USHL Fall Classic. So something we did not see from the Steel last year was wins in the Fall Classic. So that's a good sign. They also, if you're unaware, have signed Scott Gomez former two-time Stanley Cup champion with the New Jersey Devils. So Scott Gomez will be leading them through this season, and we hope to get a chance to talk to the Steel and talk to Scott Gomez somewhere throughout this season. But a loss in their home opener, September 27th, that was last Saturday, a 5-3 loss, followed by I guess we're getting into, it's not Cinco de Mayo, but man, that was a lot. I was in for it.
It's like that fiesta.
Yeah, honestly. Now I want some chips and salsa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We got a lot of people pulling up on the block here. It's a lot more lively from the 10 to noon hour. So
a little bit.
I like
it.
Yeah, it should be good. They did get the win.
We don't have the sun cooking us up right now.
That's true, too.
That was also one of them.
A little higher in the sky, not beaming right in at us. That is great. The Steel do even things up with a win in Des Moines against the Buccaneers. That was a 4-3 win in the shootout. So an exciting one. They were backstopped by a 26-save performance by Luis Felix Cheriot, and they defeat the Des Moines Buccaneers in a shootout. So sitting at 3-1-0-0, that's a 750 win percentage. They are 0-1 in the conference, though, but on a one-game win streak, and 1-0 on the road, 2-0 at a neutral site. Unfortunately, they're still in search of their first home win. That could come as early as October 10th, next Friday, because tonight they will be in Des Moines to play those Buccaneers one more time, and then next Friday at home against the Dubuque Fighting Saints. That is a 7:05 puck drop. It is Pucks and Pups night presented by Pet Sweets. So kind of like your bark at the park. You'll get to see some dogs. And then next Saturday after we're off the mics, it'll be the Steel in Dubuque to face the Fighting Saints. So their season started, I was telling you this during the break, their season started well before the NHL and even the AHL began. So, I mean, this has been a whirlwind to try to switch gears from baseball into some hockey, but here we are ready for Steel season, and more importantly, ready for Blackhawks season. And like we said, we'll be talking to Rockford and the Chicago Wolves throughout this season, like we did all last winter. So stay tuned for all of your Chicago hockey land news here on AM 1410 WRMN. What other news source do you know covers all 4 development and professional teams here in the Chicagoland area? And we have some friends that are going to be playing for the Roosevelt hockey team, Roosevelt University. So we'll be talking college hockey here in Chicagoland, even though there is a lack of college hockey. There's only a club team at U of I and a club team at Illinois State University, but in the Chicagoland area, there's not a whole lot of Big Ten hockey, which is a problem. Get on it, Big Ten. We need some representation here, but I will tell you, I don't know of any other radio station that covers all 4 of these teams in the Chicagoland area.
That's very true, and that was always my big burn when I was trying to actually become a teacher at one point. One of the students that I forgot the high school I was at. They go, oh, they had just played my former high school in hockey. They beat them, and they go, oh yeah, we beat you guys, like yada yada. I go, it's a club sport. No one cares.
Yeah.
So I got a big pop out of the class. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I can be a cool teacher.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a teacher. Not on the cards.
Well, you know me. If it's October, it means hockey and haunt season. So I will make one quick announcement. I'll be making it throughout the rest of the month here on AM 1410 WRMN. The other H, the haunt world. We are opening up our haunted house again this year. Voodoo on Vassar kicks off on October 17th. It's a Friday night, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and on weekdays, 7 to 9. As soon as the 17th hits, we will be open throughout the remainder of the month. So 16 straight days, and now you're doing the math in your head and you're going 16. That takes you into November 1st. Yes, on November 1st, Voodoo on Vassar becomes Naughty or Nice, and we will get a chance to do a Christmas theme. Because, you know, when that clock strikes midnight on Halloween, everybody switches over to Christmas and getting their hot cocoa
snow is on the
out.
ground immediately.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. I can't go through another Halloween with snow on the ground, but it'll be a fun time. Bring everybody out. 805 Vassar Lane, Schaumburg, Illinois, if you need the address. You can also find us on all of our socials. That would be Facebook, Instagram, I think that's it, actually. Facebook and Instagram, but that's where you need to. We are on every list, the Chicago Haunt Builders list, hauntedhousechicago.com, Haunted Illinois, as well as some of the other ones that you can check out all of your hauntings. And if you need any information on where to go to get scared this haunt season, hit me up. You know I cover all that stuff too. So we've got another half hour here before we hit noon. So Nick Johnson and I will be continuing on with On the Rise, talking all things Chicago sports, and we've got more playoffs here in the Chicagoland area. I know we're so starved for it, but the Chicago Fire have punched their ticket in incredible fashion to the MLS postseason. We'll be wrapping up with some soccer talk, and stay tuned. Don't tune out just yet, because we may have a little bit more baseball for you, maybe a little bit more football. And you never know, maybe throw some basketball in there as well if we've got anything for you. You're listening to AM 1410 WRMN. This is On the Rise with Nick Johnston and myself, Mike Napolitano. At the new hour, 10 to noon, tune in, River Media Network Sports.
If your idea of therapy involves a fishing rod, a tree stand, or a campfire, then you need American Outdoors Radio. Host John Cruz speaks your language, whether it's about the best lures, tracking game, or that one buddy who always forgets to bring the beer. John's got the tips to sharpen your aim, the hacks to pack lighter, and the stories to keep you entertained. Again, that's American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz. Saturdays at 7 a.m. on WRMN 1410. Or stream it at WRMN1410.com. Get ready to outfish, outhunt, and outcamp them all on American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin, or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
It's easier than you think for pests to threaten your family's health. Ticks, which spread dangerous diseases, hide in tall grasses and even on your pets. Rodents easily invade your home, contaminate food, and can carry more than 35 diseases. Mosquitoes, which breed in standing water, transmit many diseases. Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. It's that easy. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000 by member's choice. This institution is not federally insured.
Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN. You're listening to On the Rise at a new hour here from the 10 to noon spot. You can tune in still every Saturday for your River Media Network sports coverage. That'll be kicking off at 8 as always, but now from 8 to 9 it'll be The Truth About Chicago Sports, followed by Fantasy Football Blitz from 9 to 10 a.m. And then 10 to noon it'll be On the Rise here. Myself, typically, it'll be Dalton Cooper in here with us. He's just out for this week. And Nick Johnston on the board. We have another team that has not had a... Sports! We've got another team that has not had a playoff appearance or victory since 2017. Now, we talked about the Cubs not winning a playoff game since 2017. How about the Chicago Fire, who have not been to the MLS postseason since 2017? Well, they punched their ticket, and in incredible fashion. How about doing it over the 16-8-7 Inter Miami CF team? Yeah, that team that has Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi. They shut Messi down in this game real well, but Luis Suarez did get 2 goals. A goal at the 57th minute and a goal at the 74th minute, but Thomas Aviles scored in the 39th. Those were all after the Chicago Fire scored. It was Dava De Tea on a goal in the 11th minute to kick things off for Chicago. Jonathan Dean gets on the board at the 31st minute. And then it almost looks like the Fire and the... well, actually, they did take the lead then at the 43rd minute with a Kwame goal. This Fire team, man, I mean, at the start of the season, it looked a little shaky. And now it's starting to look like this team has what it takes to shut major teams down. Like I said, shutting Lionel Messi down is no easy task. But a 5-3 victory. You also got goals in the 80th and the 83rd minute from Justin Reynolds, and a goal to seal the deal for this Fire in this back and forth affair with Inter Miami from Brian Gutierrez, a Guti golazo. This was well outside the box as well. This was a rocket into the far corner that Inter Miami had no shot in stopping. So the Fire improved to 15-6-11 with 51 points, and they punched their ticket to the postseason. When you look ahead, there is still a little bit of regular season here to go. The Fire will be in action tonight at 7:30 p.m. against Toronto FC. That will be at home, I believe. Yes, at Soldier Field. I had to double check if this was at Soldier or at... Well, there's no Bears game this week, duh. So, yes, they're at Soldier Field. Followed by a road game Saturday, October 18th. It'll be the Fire against the New England Revolution. And that will be their final regular season game before playoffs begin. So we're looking at playoffs towards the end of October. When you look at this table right now, Chicago with that 15-6-11 record and those 51 points, they're sitting in 8th. So how the playoffs work for MLS, the top 7 positions in the bracket, in the table, qualify for the MLS Cup playoffs. Round 1 will be a best-of-3 series. However, positions 8 and 9 qualify for the MLS Cup playoffs, and they will have to play wild card matches. So the Fire, if things ended today, would currently be sitting in the 8th seed. The Columbus Crew are in the 9th seed. So it would be a Chicago matchup against Columbus, but that would be a well-contested matchup because Columbus is just a point behind the Fire with 50. They're at 13, 11, and 8 on the season. And in fact, these two teams just squared off against each other not too long ago. That was, what date was that? It was a 2-0 victory, 2-0 victory for the Chicago Fire over Columbus at home. back on, does it give me a date here? Oh, September 27th. So that was last weekend. So the Fire get the win in that one. It was Andrew Gutman with a goal in the 25th minute and Hugo Kuipers in the 70th minute to stun Columbus. So, hey, maybe the Chicago Fire can do that once again. But we talk about Chicago Fire and their coaching, how they've switched out coaching, and they now have Greg Berhalter. This is his first season as head coach. This is one, Nick, that we can relate to all of our different teams here in the Chicagoland area where it's been a coaching carousel. But this is one team that said they wanted to change the culture. I know that's not your favorite words, but they wanted to change the culture. They wanted to bring in new coaching. They wanted a new voice in the room to turn this franchise around. And unlike the White Sox, unlike the Bears, unlike the Cubs, unlike the Blackhawks, and I guess the Bulls haven't switched head coaches too recently, but they make the playoffs in their first season under a new head coach, who at the start of the season said success in this season, going back to kind of your question for the Blackhawks, they were also poised with this question at the start of the season. Success in this Chicago Fire season was going to be doing their job, getting wins, and making the postseason, and they've done it right off the bat here. So that's been fun to see. When was the last Chicago team that you could think of that switched head coach, and made it to the playoffs that first season?
The first season? Probably. Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's ever happened.
I'm trying to think back. I don't. I mean, the Blackhawks with Joel Quenneville, but they had already been to the postseason the year prior with Dennis Savard. It just wasn't going as far as they needed to.
I'm sure Joe Madden, I don't know if it was the first year, maybe it was the year after with the Cubs.
When did Joe Madden start with the Cubs?
I'll take a quick peek.
Because I know they made the playoffs in 2015. They did not in 2014. So I'm trying to think of when Joe Madden came over to manage the Cubs. But
from 2015 to 2019. So I believe so.
So it would be Joe Madden, and then that he was the first manager to go ahead and send his team to the postseason in year one. But that doesn't happen a whole lot here in Chicago. I mean, I guess you could talk about it was technically Tony La Russa in 2021 because he inherited that Ricky Renteria team. But Ricky Renteria was there in 2019, so that wasn't his first year making the playoffs in 2020. And then, that had already been a playoff team that made the postseason under Tony La Russa in 2021. But, I mean, if you look at it as a team that didn't make the playoffs here in Chicago the year prior, and they have completely turned their season around in order to make the postseason, you'd be looking at the Chicago Fire. So that is huge. We'll be keeping up with the Chicago Fire as we get into the postseason here and as the season winds down. As you know me, I switch over to Haunt World, so we'll see if some of our other correspondents will be out there at the games covering. But hopefully those playoffs go into November. And typically I wouldn't be saying that here in Chicago, soccer in November. But we've had some 85-degree days here still in October, so that makes me think that November is going to be fairly warm as well. And honestly, it would work out better for all of our schedules if it was past MLB postseason, past the start of hockey season, and into that November period where things kind of are, you need a little pick-me-up. So a playoff run by the Chicago Fire would probably do just that. Yeah. On the women's side of things, the Chicago Stars, they are winding down with their season as well. 2-9-11, they sit 14th in the NWSL. They fall, unfortunately, to both Houston. We didn't get a chance to recap that one. That was a 1-0 loss. And then a 4-1 loss to the Kansas City Current. Now, the Kansas City Current are a tough team. 18-2-2 with 56 points. When you look at the table, both Houston and Kansas City are, of course, above the Stars, as are the whole rest of the league. There are only 14 teams. But Houston sitting in 10th, so just outside of a playoff spot. It's the top 8 teams in the NWSL that qualify for the playoffs. And Kansas City, they are leading the table with a plus 33 goal differential in those 56 points that I mentioned. So did not expect for the Stars to get that win over Kansas City. But they did fall 1-0 to Houston. That was actually their first loss and their second loss under their new head coach. So once again, a team with head coaching issues, which is thus why I'm still keeping the mustache. Got to have that Ditka stash to hopefully get these teams back into the playoffs, but it might be a while for the Chicago Stars team that were in the playoffs last year. But of course, they lose Mallory Swanson this year. She was having a baby, so out on maternity leave. And a couple other key pieces have not really solidified themselves for this Stars franchise. So they will not make the playoffs, but they will end the season in November, hopefully when the Chicago Fire are still playing. So they have a game tomorrow against the Utah Royals. That is at 3 o'clock on Paramount Plus. You can go ahead and catch that game at SeatGeek Stadium. They will be home for that one. But then going forward, it'll be 2 road wins. I'm counting wins already. Road games. I hope I didn't just jinx them. Against Racing Louisville FC and then the San Diego Wave FC. That'll be Friday, October 10th at 6:30 p.m. against Racing Louisville. And then Saturday, October 18th at 9 p.m., an evening game, but that's because they're out on the West Coast against that San Diego Wave team. Chicago Stars will conclude their season at home against Angel City FC on Sunday, November 2nd. That time is still to be determined because it could come down to playoff matchups in November. Not for the Stars, unfortunately, but for the league itself. And Angel City, I believe, is sitting in a playoff. Nope, they're in 11th, so they've dropped a little bit as well. So that is your NWSL news. It's been a very quiet front as far as basketball goes, though. Haven't heard a whole lot out of the Bulls. We did a couple weeks ago go over all of the giveaway nights for the Derrick Rose festivities that are happening for the Chicago Bulls this year. So we will be diving into those when the time comes around. But here we are in October, which is the only month. It's the best month of the season. And I'm not just saying that as a haunt person. I'm not just saying that as a person who enjoys the smells of fall and the leaves changing and stuff like that. It's the best month of the year because you have every single sport represented.
Yeah.
You've got the MLB playoffs.
Get the sports equinoxes.
Yeah, you've got the NFL in full swing. You've got the NHL and NBA just starting up. And then, of course, like we talked about here, you've even got soccer going strong into playoffs or into the final few matches of the season. But nothing from this Bulls team thus far.
The only big thing today, exactly today being the 4th, it's not only my buddy Alan's birthday, but it's also Derrick Rose's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Derrick Rose.
Happy birthday, 37 years old today, the 3-time NBA All-Star, obviously MVP in 2011 or 2010, 2011. For sure will go down, obviously, as one of the Bulls, one of the most favorite players in a long time. Obviously, he's got his jersey retired.
Right.
I think he's going to come back and they're going to have the full-on.
Yeah, it's a jersey retirement this year.
Okay.
Last year was just an honorary Rose night. They kind of split it up into 2 nights, but that should be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And then all
be
the
awesome.
giveaways of the figurines.
Yeah, there's like 4 different giveaways. There's 4 different like Derrick Rose figurines that you'll be able to get. It's the St. Patty's Day one, the MVP one, rookie year, and then the
face mask one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, something like that.
The face mask.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, obviously. So now, like I said, shout out to my buddy Alan. He's also, like I said, he's a triplet. So shout out to Eric, Alan, and Melanie. All big old birthdays right there. But like I said, shout out to Derrick Rose for his birthday. Happy 37th, obviously. But like you mentioned, even when I'm Googling NBA news, it's not really anything too crazy. I mean,
crickets, basically.
Jonathan Kuminga, they kind of settled that contract dispute over in Golden State, and that was kind of I didn't really get into the details, I'm sure, but they've been dragging this out. So whether it was a deal of just like one person had a number, the team had a different number, and they just couldn't come together on a solution, that maybe it was that, or some people were actually saying there was some bigger thing to it. So I'll have to get more details on it exactly. But yeah, Jonathan Kuminga getting his extension, but otherwise, I'm sure you guys mentioned Josh Giddey getting that contract all settled with the Bulls, which good. 4 years, unrestricted free or a restricted free agent. So when that does come up, the Bulls will be the first one to get at him again, which is awesome. He's 23, 24 years old right now.
Yes.
So this like
24. Yeah.
I get it. Again, you can look at it and be like, oh, he doesn't he's not the key piece. Again, maybe empty calorie triple doubles from him. Sure. But I still think there's value there. He moves the ball pretty well, and he can actually, you can create a system with him in there. So
everything's basically empty calorie here with this Bulls squad because of the fact that there's really not a whole lot of things to get excited about with this Bulls squad. I mean, they flirt with mediocrity every year and sometimes fall just short. I didn't realize, excuse me, I didn't know Marcus was going to be calling in to talk sports.
No one was online.
Oh, I didn't even see him. Never mind. Marcus, we'll get you back at some point soon here, my man, especially because we've got this new schedule going on.
Yeah.
So we want to keep people informed about that. On the Rise, one more time, will now be from 10 to noon every Saturday. The Truth About Chicago Sports will be from 8 to 9 a.m., followed by Fantasy Football Blitz from 9 to 10. So be sure to tune in to River Media Network Sports Saturdays with this new lineup. We're hoping to push that forward. And Dalton and I were flirting with maybe starting a couple other shows. I know you're on evenings with David Dykstra and Tyler Butterball.
Yeah, so we're going to probably get going on Blow the Whistle, going on a little bit now. I would assume now that the regular season for the White Sox is all said and done with, so we actually have time to go do this in the afternoons now. Right. So I think we are still shooting for a 6 to 7, 6 to 8 type slot. Just like I said, more or less kind of a preview of more Bears. A lot of talk there. Obviously, our guys David Dykstra and Tyler Butterball, they're more on the college football side as well, so a lot more in-depth stuff on that, and that'll help out because, again, we're on Saturdays, all the Saturday morning games. We can kind of recap that and kind of get a little prediction there too as well. So it'll be nice. Like I said, Blow the Whistle. They've been doing this well before I even came in at IMS. So they've been doing that for a bit now. It's glad to see that we're increasing, getting better, getting stronger, getting larger each and every day. So that's the goal right now. So yeah, like I said, having an official date, start time, start set yet, but like I said, we're in the works. We're talking. Like I said, we're trying to figure out what's the best day and time for Blow the Whistle coming up on Saturdays. So
yeah. Illinois had a huge win over, did they have, was it the
it was over
game?
USC last week. Yeah,
USC, and they are currently taking on the Purdue Boilermakers, who are sitting at 2-2. They're winning 10-7. This is going into the third. Yeah, finishing up that second quarter. So at halftime, 10-7 in favor of the Fighting Illini. They are 4-1 on the season. So it's been a great season thus far for Illinois. I know we've had our correspondent Blake Cowell, who's usually on the Truth About Chicago Sports. He may be popping in to On the Rise here now that we're at a new hour in order to talk a little bit of Illinois football. Dalton was going to head down there last week, but we had a couple of guests on the show, so he decided to stay here. But a huge win from the Fighting Illini last week over USC, a 34-32 final, and that was big because the previous week against Indiana, a 63-10 loss to Indiana. So yeah, that's not what you want to see, but Illinois, a 38-0 win over Western Michigan University before that, and then dating back to the start of the season, a 52-3 win over Western Illinois back on August 29th, and a 45-19 win over Duke. So when this U of I team is actually winning games, they're blowing teams out of the water for the most part. But then, of course, it has to do with facing that number 8 Indiana. That was a tough one for them.
Yeah.
They're going to have an even tougher time. They kind of desperately need this win over the unranked Purdue squad right now because they will have to play the defending champs, the number 1 ranked Ohio State team, the Buckeyes, next week. That'll be Saturday, October 11th at 11 a.m. Before they go on to have a couple easier matchups throughout the rest of the season. But then November 29th, that'll be Illinois versus Northwestern. I kind of wanted to get ourselves in the door for that one. And I know either Dalton Cooper or Blake Cowell will be covering that one. I have a wedding to go to that day. So I have to see what time the festivities are. And maybe I can make the beginning of that game if it's an afternoon game, but I'm guessing not.
I'm sorry. If anyone that gets getting married and like, you gotta, I know it's all about you guys getting married, but you got to have some sort of just like knowing what day, time, what else is going on that day.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit conscious of, your audience, your people that are coming to your wedding. Like, they're giving up, don't get married during college football is what I'm saying. Don't get married during the NFL season. There's a there's a nice time. There's a nice little lull when there's no football on to go get married. There's plenty of times. There's the opportunity. But to get quickly back onto Illinois, like you said, shout out to Double D, David Dykstra. He's calling his shot. He's thinking Ohio State falls to Illinois next week.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
in Illinois,
huge.
it's gonna be a humongous game, like we just mentioned. Even if it's not, an outright win for Illinois, you gotta stay competitive. You gotta stay within a score. You can't get slapped up like you did against Indiana.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Again, defending champs, Ohio State. They have holes. They have issues. So again, can you expose it? Can you get rid of they're not the they're not LSU of 2020 or whatever when it was Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. Like there's holes on this team. You can definitely get around it. So Illinois just as a whole, as a program, it's nice to see that they're not just a basketball school no more.
Right. Yeah. They're coming up in football too.
Yeah. It's cool.
The last meeting between Illinois and Northwestern, Illinois was ranked 16th and Northwestern was unranked. It was a 38-28 final in favor of Illinois on November 30th of last year. But this year, it has not really gone Northwestern's way for half of it. They are 2-2, 23-3 loss to Tulane in game 1. Week 2, a 42-7 win over Western Illinois, and then a 34-14 loss to Oregon. And then that was followed by a 17-14 win over UCLA. So 2-2 as they look to go into their 5th game today. That is against LA Monroe. That is at 2:30 p.m. So Northwestern moving forward as well. Next Saturday, they will be facing the number 7 ranked Penn State at 2:30. So that'll be a tough matchup for Northwestern.
Oh, yeah.
But, that'll pretty much conclude. We've got some fantasy football. We had fantasy football earlier today. We had some college football talk here, some Bears talk earlier today. I don't know if you had any picks going forward for this week.
Picks, I can kind of go over my picks / just like my fantasy advice for this week. Just as simple as always. Look at the injury bug. Look at the injury report. So many injuries across the board. Obviously, Chuba Hubbard's out, so Rico Dowdle's going to go in for him. No Bucky Irving, so Rashard White, that's going to be your backup there. And in a position where people probably don't have a lot of depth at running back, where it's just if the one person does, he has all the running backs. So you kind of have to make a trade like that. But yeah, if you're looking for starving for somebody, beware. I'll say beware on this one too. There is kind of a toss up. Like everyone went for Amari DiMercato since no James Conner, and then also Trey Benson went out. So now it's going to be a toss-up between Michael Carter and Amari DiMercato for Arizona Cardinals. So people are kind of bouncing back and forth. If you're thinking like, oh, I got a shoe and I got Amari DiMercato in there, they might be splitting this week. So be aware. Be aware of that. That could be happening for sure. Like I mentioned too, if it's still there, if it's still possible to get that plus 8.5 for the Patriots against the Bills, that's pretty good. I think the Patriots are playing a little bit better. Decent defense. Again, it's another primetime game for the Bills. I feel like they've had 4 out of their last 5 games have already been primetime games. So they're a little not tired, not banged up, but again, the rhythm is off for them for sure in terms of like, hey, what's going to be the schedule today? So, but like I said, just the usual. Make sure you're watching. Make sure you're getting in there before the inactives and the actives get going. But yeah, ultimately, I'm 0-4.
Oh no,
I really need a win. This is a really big week for a lot of people. If you are 0-4, you don't want to go 0-5. That it is just mathematically just tough to get it back in the playoffs in any sort of way. So for a guy like myself that drafted Jamar Chase 1-1, it's tough. So hopefully he goes crazy this week. Maybe you can trade him high and get something better. But some have said, even on the fantasy show beforehand, they said the Bengals schedule is going to get a little lighter, so maybe Jake Browning is going to be an awful quarterback. Fingers crossed.
True. Well, you talk about back in the playoffs. Stay tuned to the MLB playoffs this week. The Tigers knock off the Guardians. That was a painful series for White Sox fans no matter what. So they'll be playing the Mariners, who have clinched the AL West division for the first time in over 21 years. The Red Sox thought they had the Yankees, but the Yankees reverse sweep them, so it'll be Yankees and Blue Jays. Dodgers and Phillies after the Dodgers make short work of the Reds, and then, of course, Cubs and Brewers. You'll get all that and more right here on AM 1410 WRMN. This is On the Rise at the new time. Myself, Mike Napolitano, and Nick Johnson. We'll see you next week.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down, not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. Apolitical Talk Show, breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 12 o'clock.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Ed Donahue reports on some Republican concerns about President Trump's rhetoric during the federal government shutdown.
As the government shutdown continues through the weekend, Republicans say they are winning. But some fear President Trump's cuts may change that. John Cornyn from Texas in the Senate feels the GOP has the upper hand on extending health care funding.
There's no imminent threat to these people or anyone else if we don't address it in the context of this shutdown. So it's a made-up crisis.
But President Trump's sweeping cuts to home state projects and the threat of mass federal firings have some Republicans worried the White House may be going too far. Ed Donahue, Washington.
A major Russian drone strike on Ukraine in what the country's president is calling a savage attack.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says a Russian drone strike on Saturday struck a Ukrainian rail station, injuring at least 30 people. It happened in Shostka, a city northeast of Kyiv, about 43 miles from the Russian border in the Sumy region. The regional governor says in a video handout that 7 of the injured are in the hospital, one with critical injuries. I'm Donna Warder.
North Carolina's Democrat governor signed into law a justice measure that the state's Republican-controlled legislature approved in response to the stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee.
North Carolina's Democratic Governor Josh Stein has signed into law a criminal justice measure pushed by the Republican-controlled legislature after a young Ukrainian woman was stabbed to death on a Charlotte train. The new law bars cashless bail for certain violent crimes and limits discretion in pretrial release decisions. The bill's authors are also seeking to restart executions in North Carolina. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense.